Good morning, gamers! Welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. My name is Mikey. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the Wednesday show. This is where we talk about news and drama from around the world, related to tabletop, but sometimes just things I'm kind of interested in. My name is Mikey, and I really appreciate you tuning in. I hope you're all doing well. Let me know who you are, where you're watching from. I'm currently live on both youtube.com/Hellstormwargaming and twitch.tv/HellstormMikey, because I'm a multi-streamer now. So welcome one and all. I hope you're all doing well. Looking at trying to get rid of Cloud's cat hair. That ain't gonna... I was, yeah. I'm covered in Cloud's hair. So I'm trying to get rid of it with a bit of tape. The old backwards tape trick, you know, wrap it around your hand and get a quick wipe down. Sorted. Hello, Sass, how are we? Brushworks, good morning. Dats and Des, how are you doing, matey? How you doing? Who else we got? My chat box caught up. Craig, good morning. Diawag, hello there. Gangster's Paradise, the builder and the demolisher of feature walls himself. That's me. That's literally me. I've arrived. The work was done. It started yesterday. I haven't been told if it's finished, but the work was done yesterday. So that's a good start. Oh, someone just... What did someone do? What did two people do? Yay! Thanks for the resub, Kill Shotout. Thank you for the Prime, dude. Really appreciate it. What a legend. Thanks for the Prime over on Twitch. You started our new game. We have a new game chat. We have a little bar. 10 minutes, okay? That's all you have. Every time someone resubs, this number goes bigger. And we're trying to beat our high score of 27. Okay? So, every time you sub, become a member, Prime sub, gift a membership, super chat, give bits, anything like that. We are at 3. Mike, thanks for the 19 months, dude. Appreciate it. Only 2 have come through, though. Only 2 have come through on my end. I don't know where the third one's from. You can have that for free. Chat, you can have it for free. All right. So welcome. Joking. I'm joking. Literally joking it. Literally joking it. What's the tariff rate on my game? For you, mate, 0. For you, it's 0, bro. So welcome. Hello. We got lots to talk about today. I hope you all saw the real big news, which I'll talk about first. Good morning, AWOL. Morning, Dr. Donald. Morning, mate. Hope you're well. I am good, mate. Feel like I've been off my feet for what feels like 5 years. But I'm good. I'm good. I hope you're doing well as my mate. Evening, Brendan. How are you? It was my birthday yesterday and I started to work Saz. That is pretty cringe. But I hope you enjoyed your little caterpillar cake that you took in. Do you know what's the worst thing about being old? The worst thing about being old is having to take your own cake on your birthday, you know? It's bad enough that I'm old now, but now I have to bring my own cake to work. I don't even get brought a cake. God damn. Wait, why has this gone to 4? What's happened now? Chat, nothing's coming up on my screen. What are you doing in the background? Tell me. Who's hacking me? Who's hacking the game that we have? I feel like we're being scammed. Nothing's come up on Twitch. Nothing's come up on YouTube. I don't know what's happening. There it is. That's another one. Dioag, thanks for the 9 months over on Twitch. Thanks for the Prime, dude. Appreciate you. I know, right? Scott made me brownies and got me flowers. That was pretty poggers. That does sound nice. Well, I hope you had a nice day outside of having to go to work. So, chat, did you see the real news? I need to play the right music for this, not this one. Did you see the real news? Conley Stewie, thanks for 26 months. When are you becoming a Manor streamer? I tried it, never. Chat, did you see the real news? Because your boy's been busy. I'm a Helldiver. I don't know if you knew. I posted on Discord last night. You can see an important news. There's a brand new game coming out from the company known as Steam Forged Games. And they're bringing out a game called Helldivers 2, the board game. Guess who's in the Let's Play, baby? It's me! It's your boy! I'm reacting to the video, and I'm under the video. Wait. It's your boy! That's me! Hello! Hello, I'm playing Helldivers 2 with the developers of the game Helldivers 2. Oh, chat, I'm so excited. Do you remember a couple of weeks ago where I was like, chat, I can't stream today, got stuff on sods? That's what I was doing. That's what I was doing. I was fighting for democracy and Super Earth.
We're playing the game.
You know? That was me. I gave myself the Mike Wazowski. Does that count? There it is. Playing the shit out of Helldivers. This is skipped a whole turn. That's crazy. That's fine. So if you didn't know, I keep pausing the wrong one because this is I'm playing the music on the other side. If you didn't know, Steamforged Games are bringing out Helldivers 2, the board game. Okay. Now I'm not being paid to promote it. I'm not being paid to promote it or anything like that, but I was involved with the playthrough, so get your biases in. Got my biases in check. They're bringing out a board game where you can play Helldivers 2, the board game, and I won't lie, I really fucking enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, actually. It was really, really fun. It felt like the video game to a point, but felt different enough that I could play the video game and then play the board game, you know? The minis are absolutely stunning, you know? This is like the core box. You get like a choice of 4 Helldivers and then like a bunch of extra stuff. All the baddies, because you're playing against the tyranids. There's 4. They basically have what it was called is because they have like classes in the army. The models have classes, but you can build your own, which is fun. And then yeah, the fucking models are so cool. There's Shrieker. Oh my god. Little side tangent. Okay. On the day, obviously they didn't have the plastic versions. They had like 3D printable prototypes, and this was 3D printed and very top heavy. And there was a bit we were kind of like doing a little bit of filming. This is behind the scenes chat. Don't tell Steamforged I told you, okay? But a little behind the scenes. We were like getting ready to do a shot, and it was like, Mikey, pick up that really scary, delicate 3D printed model that's huge. Okay, is there like an image of it? David, thanks for the 32 months, appreciate it. It's this one here, right? This one here. You can see the size of it, right? Thanks for the 32 months, bud, really appreciate it. It's huge, okay? Absolutely huge, but also 3D printed. Very delicate, very wobbly because it was top heavy because it's a 3D printed base as well. So Jamie, the guy in the middle of the video, is like, Mikey, you've got to move this in a minute. And I'm like, I really don't want to, I don't want to break it. And he was like, no, you need to practice because we were about to do it on shot. And I was like, right, okay. And he was like, just be really careful. So I was like, do I have a model? I don't. I guess I'll just use this for now. This is way bigger than it was, but it's quite big. Okay. He was like, grab the model from the back and then you'll be fine. And I was like, right, okay. So I'll grab it from the back, okay, like this. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. And then just and then put it down. I was like, oh, okay, that was fine. Put it down, and then as I gently lifted my hand away, I flicked it with my thumb and knocked it out. And literally the room, me, Jamie and Steve, the guys playing, and like there was like 3 people behind the camera who were like from Steamforged, kind of like monitoring and making sure everything was like okay, make sure we're playing the game right and stuff like that. And then all the crew who were filming it, and literally the room went silent and everybody gasped. And I was like, the Shrieker is about to spawn in the game. They only have this one. And I'm like... Thankfully, it didn't break. But it was just a prototype, chat. I just want to let you know. It was just a prototype. They are going to be PVC. So they won't break in person. This was a prototype for the game. So we can showcase it. But yeah, me fucking clumsy shit. It's just like, oh yeah, it's just fine. And then gently put it down, then flick it with my thumb. But thankfully, it just kind of rolled and didn't break, okay? But there was a model break, and it's on camera, and I'm good luck finding it. There's a bit that pings off of a model. I'm not going to say which one. Is that why you didn't get paid? I'm not being paid to promote it, okay? I'm not being paid to tell you about the game now. The only notice was someone making it out on a clipboard not to invite this gorilla back again. Yeah, literally. That was literally me. Literally me. Anyway, it looks really fucking sick. I said I played the base game, so I've played against all these. The Charger is sick. The Shriek was scary. But I didn't know anything about the expansions. Holy shit. I was looking at the expansions. Can I look at it? There's a fucking Bile Titan and a Strider. Any Helldivers 2 fans in chat? Holy shit. They've got... I don't know why they've got the drop ships, but they have. They've got the drop ship and the gunship. Why have they got these? I've got no idea. But holy shit. And then they've got some mystery expansions, which I imagine is going to be the squids. But we don't know yet. I imagine it's going to be the squids. But fucking... Yeah, it looks sick. I think I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm all in. I was about to order a Switch 2. Did anyone manage to order a Switch 2 yesterday? This and Switch 2 in the same day? God. Expensive day. Expensive day. But the trailer's really sick. I'll show you the trailer, then we'll move on. The trailer's really good, to be fair.
Hellpod launch initiated.
Hell yeah. I love the trailer just because it's quite funny. It's very on brand. I think Steamforge made this, you know, for the game. But yeah, it's fucking... I love it. It just looks great. It looks cool. I love that. I love the exploding model. So good. I love it when the guy dies as well. God, that was an expensive strategy. This bit, so good with the blood going everywhere. It's the damage tokens. The damage tokens go flying in the air. I thought that was so good. So yeah, so it's made 500,000. So it's more than 500,000 within the first day. It's only up for 2 weeks. If you are interested, I'll drop a link. I don't have a referral code. Again, I'm not being paid to promote it. I'm just telling you because I think it's cool. And I was involved in the playthrough, which is obviously, you know. Maggie, you see the nerf to more DAKKA? It's been pushed to the app. Is that legit? Chat, mods, confirm. Mods, confirm. Has more DAKKA been nerfed today? Does it come with a D-pad where you have to manually type in the strat? So, no, but yes. No, but yes. So you can actually see it here. So the way they manage the stratagem, because you have stratagems, you can drop airstrikes and stuff. They have this. They have this. Okay. And then when you spend a stratagem, so this is like obviously like accessing like a terminal or something. You place your little cubes down and that blocks it off for the round. Which is cool. I thought it was actually really good. I actually thought that was really, really good. I thought that was a really nice way to... It's a really fun way to do it. Is to kind of like... So you have the stratagem, but depending on how many players you are, you have limited access. So basically you have a row, or a column, sorry, for each player. You have a column for each player. And then depending which stratagem you use, you put your blocks down to block it off. So yeah, it does actually come with a D-pad, kind of. App has an update. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. Let's have a look. More DAKKA nerfed? More DAKKA? Where is it? Mine doesn't say anything. Chat, mine doesn't say anything. I feel like you're lying. I need a screenshot. I need a screen. Where's the screenshot, chat? Where's my important news update? You can't be coming here saying big headlines without evidence. Mods, you confirmed it. Where's the update? Orks. Wait. Orks. Codex. More DAKKA. Sustain 2, currently. What phone are you on, chat? What phone are you on? I just had to update my app. I can't update it. Chat, while you're updating your app, make sure you get this timer going. Make sure you get this timer going. Because I'm about to tell my entirety of my Discord that I'm live, but I don't have this update that you want me to talk about. Do I have to go to Reddit to find out? I don't see fucking nothing. Wait! More DAKKA nerfed. Looks like GDO app is updated already with some more DAKKA nerfs. The detachment roles shifted to assault for infantry and walkers and sustain 1 when in the war. That's what I suggested! That's what I suggested! Meanwhile, Get Stuck in Lads goes to TCP. Any other changes people spot, GD will probably release a Warcom download in a couple hours. Get Stuck in Lads is put a unit in the wild. Looks like Gretchen unit Zog gang aren't usable anymore. I mean, they are usable. They're just worse. Chat, I need a screenshot from an Android phone right now. Wait, Mertz knows message me, 1 sec. Or does it? No, I need the where it says sustain 1. I need the update. I need the update. Well, I need the change. But I trust Siegler. Why would Siegler post? You know what I mean? Has it been updated on the website, Warcom? I don't have the code. Oh, right, okay. Does no one have the Ork codex to check? I understand. You don't have the Ork codex, so you can't look at the free detachment that came out. Where the fuck is it these days? Is it under Grotmas? No? More DAKKA. Where is it? Other rules? Yeah, it's in other rules. So this hasn't been updated yet. This is still wrong. DM the screen outside on Discord. Thank you, Bam. Thank you. Yo! More DAKKA back! More DAKKA is nerf, bro! Chat, need to tell me entirety of my Discord that I'm live, then we'll look at it. Thank you, Bam. What a legend. Yo, chat, I'm live and more DAKKA has been nerfed. Oh, man. Right, I get to unban it from my event now. Someone's getting sacked. Why? Why are they getting sacked? Let me update my title. More DAKKA has been nerfed. Then. I need to add then. Bro! Bro! Thank you, Bam, for sending us the update. DAKKA. Ranged weapons equipped by Orks infantry and Ork walker models have the assault ability. Okay, so that is what they previously had whilst in the war. And now, whilst the war is active during your shooting phase, ranged weapons equipped by Orks infantry and Ork walkers have the sustained 1 ability. 1,000 bear chasers screened out on DAKKA. Yeah, Orc plays. I thought it was fine. I thought everyone was just overreacting. Okay, that's a good change, because now you can give a unit sustained by putting it in the war every turn. But if the war is 2 CP now, a lot harder to use. But you can give your entire army sustained for 1 turn and give our unit sustained every turn using the strat. That's just so much better. If the strat stayed at 1 CP, I would be fine with this. I would be fine with this change. This is the huge change. Because you got the worst buff during the war and the best one all game. It didn't make any sense. It just didn't make any sense, chat. But this is a good change, definitely. I like this. I just want my app to update. Where's my app update? This is the problem with using app update, because Games Workshop don't know how to program anything. They could program the database so they can just update it and push it to both easily. But because they do it via, like, it's on the app that it's updated rather than the database it's talking to, then you have to wait for an update to get everyone else, get all the rules. Now, clear Photoshop, all live sustain 2 forever. Yeah, should I change it to sustain 3? Let's change it to sustain 3 in Photoshop. I'm sure those Orc players with their superior skills will all play through the changes. That's the thing, right? It's like, there's been such gaslighting from certain people, you know, there's been such gaslighting of like, oh, you just need to play around it, or you just need to learn. Stompers have assault punk. Yeah, someone went to Sheffield GT this weekend, the UKTC event, and went 4-1 with a Stomper. And everyone was like, oh my god, this guy's so good. And I was like, clearly, because you're running more DAKKA before the nerf, obviously. Hello, Ink. I was like, if a player can have an 800-point paperweight and go 4-1, then clearly the detachment's fucked. Clearly the detachment is fucked. Hey, boy. If you can go 4-1 with fucking 800 points down, essentially, by taking a Stomper, then, you know, clearly there's a fucking issue, and Orc players are like, nah, it's just got his fucking skill, bro. He's just got fucking skills. It's not the fact that fucking everything else is sustained too, and everything, he's got like 30 litres still. He's just blowing everything up every turn. 800-point distraction Carnifex. It's not even a distraction. Just fuck all. You can set a clock to that cat. Yeah. When do we check eBay for loot? Is in about 2 hours. When people start. When it's on iPhone. When it's on iPhone. Ow. He's stabbing me. Long uncontrolled burst is also changed to only benefit 1 unit. What's long uncontrolled burst? Is that, oh, was that was the army wide, right? They got a buff for army wide. Let me have a look. Yeah, it was like choose an Orc character, then every unit in your army gets ignore cover against it. 1 unit within 18 inches of one of your Orc characters, everybody gets ignore cover. Yeah, maybe that being at one unit is probably fine. That's the thing. Orc players always say, well, loot is only your AP 1. It's like, yeah, you have ignore cover and sustain 2. What's your problem? TB lost a fair bit of power in the last update when we survived to see a lot of players back on Warhorde. Ah, tactical brigade. Ink. Ink, bro. I'm trying to do my job. Inky, bro. I'm trying to do my job. Not really. Reason to run it when you only have dreadnought tactical. Good job, Judo. Gives fun detachment and nerf into the ground. The fun detachment? For who? For who, bro? It was fun for who? It definitely needed nerf. I think it's hard nerf as I don't know player. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I mean, if the strat probably didn't need to go up at this point. I think they did enough. But yeah. Fucking hell. I just want to see the rest. I'm just relying on Reddit comments to give me updates. Was there any other updates? I don't know. I can't see the update. I don't know it. I don't know anything. It's not updated. Typical GW, drop a random update on a Wednesday to no fanfare. Ink. Away from the monitor. He loves scratching the monitor. So Yunari will definitely get nerfed as well. Well, hopefully they should do. Hopefully. Ink. He sits on my mouse and then scratches my monitor. Shithead. What was it on here? It's the Inky Show. We are blessed. It's always Inky Show on a Wednesday. Yeah, they love morning cuddles. That's all. They're doing it low key, so they don't get as much backlash. No, I agree. I agree. You have to stab me with your claws every time. Every time you come up at me, I'm with your claws. I think it's just more DAKKA. Well, that's fine. That's fine. I just wish I could see the rest of it. I am just relying on comments. We're reading salty comments to find out what else has changed. Hey, Ink. Get over. Feels like a weird shift to make for the sake of nerfing the detachment. I don't think so. Am I crazy? All these Reddit comments just like super just delusional. Ink. No. Come away from there. Come away. Warhood is great. Tactical Brigade is right there for shoot the Orks, and if you want Casino Cannons, Walker, so is Dreadnought. That's the thing. It just kind of smashed a few detachments together and then went, yeah, here's the War as well. And that's the thing. It's like a lot of people say, oh, we've lost a fun detachment. It's only fun for the Orc player. That detachment was only fun for literally like my my presentation the other day. That detachment, when you're playing it, is only fun for the Orc player. It's not fun for the 5 people, 6 people who have to play against it in an event. You know? I love you too. What are you doing? It's only fun for the people playing the Orc army. And it ruins 5 people's day. Maybe not 5, you know, but it definitely ruins the first 3 people, because on average, more DAKKA players, like, we're going undefeated on the first day, you know, which it shouldn't be the case. It should be 50-50, honestly. In an ideal world, every faction is like half the players go undefeated the first day, you know, in an ideal world, because you have all the players undefeated before round 1, half the players undefeated round 2. Well, it's actually less than half the players. Right? It's half, half, and then half. I'm trying to work out what that is. Half, then 25%. 12.5% of players playing a certain detachment. An army should go undefeated after the first day, but it was turned out that basically every more DAKKA player was going undefeated after the first day. So it's clearly showing the problem, and that's what a lot of people were like failing to realize. It was like, oh well, Yunari have a 60% win rate, but Yunari doesn't have. If a good player picks up Yunari, it's fucking broken. Don't get me wrong. You know, if a good player plays Yunari, it's broken. But not everybody can. But what was happening is every Orc player was suddenly very good. Was suddenly going undefeated the first day if they were playing more DAKKA specifically. Not any other detachment. If they were just playing more DAKKA, they were suddenly an extremely good player. They were part of the top 12% of players because they were going undefeated. And then they were losing 2 games on the Sunday. That was usually what's happening, or whatever, or 3 games. They were actually hitting people of high skill and high caliber who have earned their way up there, and then they were losing. So what they were essentially doing is just ruining the day, the first day, for 3 people, by not really having a fair game, and just being like, I have an obscenely busted army that anyone with a smooth brain can win 3 games with, you know? And then, yeah, you'll just have to fucking... You just gotta be better. You just gotta learn. The meta hasn't adjusted yet. And it's like, it's so dumb. It's honestly so dumb. Because I was accused of banning orcs off the win rate. And it was never about the win rate, which is why I waited so long. It's all about the tournament win potential, which is a completely different stat. And the tournament win potential, if you don't know what that is, it's the potential of an army as a percentage of how often they're getting into XO, X1 positions, you know? And how often are they putting themselves, or how often is that army getting into a position that it can win an event on average? And the average was just like insanely high. It's like 45% of people who play more DAKKA are likely to go undefeated or 4-1, you know, or 5-1 or whatever. Only losing one game, essentially. Putting themselves in a position to win the event by going undefeated. Where the average army is about 8, you know? 7% or something stupid. It might even be lower. It might even be lower. So it's just like obscenely high when you look at like those stats, like 7 to 8 or 9 times higher. And it's like, what are we doing here? Because people are looking at the win rate and then going, oh yeah, look, they've got 6%, you know, I've got 6%. But it's just not the same, you know? Will you unban it now? Wait for it to drop to 3 games played by next Monday. If they push the update today, I'll unban it today. Because if that seems like this seems like quite a reasonable change. Actually, this seems like a really harsh change. I think if it was... it's the strats, and we don't really know. If all the strats change as well, a little bit harsh. It's the sustain 2 army-wide, which is crazy. I think just swapping the abilities around is really good. Having the 1 go turn is probably really good, but they've obviously realised that the 1 go turn is still too strong with sustain 2. That's why they've reduced it to sustain 1. That's why they've got rid of the... I think the strat could be 1 CP, you know? They sold out on looters, so job done really. Yeah, literally, looters are just like... Let me check to make sure it's not going to dox myself. Oh, they're not quite sold out on eBay. Well, there's a lot on eBay that's selling, you know? Where's your fidget spinner? Let's see a look. Yeah. Chat, I've started distracted Inky and Cloud with the fidget spinner. It works really well. Should get one if you got a cat. He loves to spin it himself. But yeah, so like loads of people have just been selling them on eBay. If you look at like, let's have a look at sold. Can you do that these days? Sort by newly listed. Yeah, good shout. I have the Orc code, yeah, but I'm on an iPhone, so I can't see the update. I want to see sold. I want to see how many people have been selling them for. There it is. So yeah, a lot of people have just been absolutely scranning Orcs. This was all like yesterday. Can I do sold? Ended recently. 4th, 8th. Ended recently. I want ended soonest. You know, people have just been scranning Orcs. Everything's been selling in the past few days, past weeks, you know. But before that, £37 for 10. That's a good deal. How much are the RRP? Let's find out how much the RRP. Let's go to the outpost.com using my affiliate link. !outpost in chat. You can grab discount Warhammer, included looters, if you want to, for a very good rate. My link isn't working for some reason, but we'll just, you know, we'll get it from somewhere else. How much are the RRP? Let's find out. Luta, £22. Out of stock. So £26 RRP, that's what we're looking at. So anything sells close to that or similar, you kind of know they've bought it because it's because they need them. £26.72 plus £3 postage. That is more than RRP. £20 plus £4 delivery. It's close to RRP. They're painted, they don't count. £25. Okay, you are technically saving money. Wrong bases in there. £25 but built and painted. 22 brand new. People are basically paying RRP, especially after like delivery and stuff. They're basically been paying RRP for secondhand models. The more than RRP with delivery. Way more with delivery. 31 quid. Generally, presently surprised that my Outpost shipped my pre-order out early enough that I had it delivered on the Saturday this past weekend. We'll definitely be using them again. Excellent. I'm really glad. I'm really glad. Yeah, they're really good at getting stuff shipped out. So, /the Outpost. I don't know why my link's not working. You can use my link to get discount Warhammer, and every time you do, I get a little kickback. But no extra cost to you. So yeah, like basically looters have been selling for RRP, if not more. Like the market cap is just crazy. This is what you should be investing in. You're looking at your 401k, you're looking at your FTSE 100 and saying they're down. Should have invested in looters, but these are going to be down as well. I played a game at Outpost on Friday. Really enjoyed the experience there, except losing the game. Yeah, losing the game is a bit cringe. Shouldn't have done that, John. Don't turn up again in 2-1. I'm joking. I'm joking. So yeah, so like looters are, these are green ones. Looters have just been crazy, and now with this, they'll be dead. No one will touch them. That'll be it now. GG. Let's see if my app's updated. Nada. No update. I mean, withheld information. Is anyone posted on the Discord who's actually got it? No one's we've relied on one screenshot. Just like, somebody please post the nerfs. I see people celebrating in plenty of group chats to effect deserve nerf, a big one, but this might be too much. A shitty orc army should be welcomed in the meta. No, you shouldn't. No, it shouldn't. Orcs aren't a shooting army. The whole point is to be random because they have really good weapons that don't hit. That's the point. First, they don't give you access to early grot bursts. They did, and then they don't give you any access to orcs. They didn't give me any soul blight. They just fucking shoot me in the foot, bro. They're like, oh, Mikey, fuck him. They give me nothing. I can't believe I had to scroll Reddit to find out news. This is cringe. Has anyone got an alt codex on an Android phone, please? Let me see if anyone's posted it on WhatsApp or anything. There's nothing. So supposedly this strat can't be used on grots at all, but it doesn't say why. Maybe it just says excluding grots. What you need, I need access. I need a picture of all the strats that have changed. If you had a press pass, they'd send you more stuff. Yeah, I actually got an email back. From Salute. They said, you've got your passes now, so get fucked. No, they didn't say that. They said they got the passes now, but we'll with Warmag, but we'll post a a thing about you, so they will do that. Okay, thank you, Chris. Let's go. Your command phase. Till the start of command phase, a wire is active for a unit. Orc unit excluding Gretchen. Savage. Savage. Woof. Okay, now we've got the confirmation. We've actually got the strats. Done that one. What's this one? Oh, that's the same one twice. Is it the same one twice? Yes. So the other one is the ignore cover one. Long uncontrolled burst or whatever it's called. Thank you, Chris, though. Appreciate it. Okay. What happened? I zoom, nothing happens. Great. So I think this might be too much. With the other changes, I think this might be too much. I don't think this needed to be 2 CP. Especially because you can't use it on Gretchen. 2 CP with Gretchen? 1 CP, just an Orc unit. No. 2 CP with Gretchen. Yeah, 1 CP, 1 Orc unit excluding Gretchen. Because the buff isn't crazy now. It's good. You're still getting loads of buffs when you're putting something in the war. You still get a 5% bond. You're still getting advance and charge. You're now getting assault on top, and you've always you're now getting sustained 1 on top, and you've always got assault. It's still good. I think 2 CP might have been a bit too much. That's the thing with GW, right? There definitely was needed a correction was needed. Let's be honest. A correction was like desperately needed, but they do sometimes overcorrect. I think this might be the case. You know. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you. Long uncontrolled bursts. 1 Orc unit for your is not be selected to shoot. 2 near fades. Range weapons by models in your... Oh, that's completely changed. So, currently, or as it stands, it says you choose an Orc character and then select 1 enemy unit within 18 inches of the character model. Until the end of the phase, weapons equipped by Orcs have the ignore cover. Now it's just choose a unit and they get ignore cover. Which means there's no range limit. You don't need to be within 18 inches to get it. But it's only a single unit. Have you seen there's a brand called Fenty Skin? What's Fenty Skin? What the fuck is that? What's Fenty Skin? Is this a meme? Sounds like Fent. It does. Is that it? Is that the whole joke? Fenty's and that Rihanna's clothing brand. I don't know. I don't know, Chris. Could be. Yeah, I feel like a little bit of an overcorrection. I think going to sustain 1 whilst in the wire is great because you can have that go turn. I think making the strat 2 CP is a bit weird. There's my opinion. Yes, I'll not be banning it now. It's now had a good nerf. It's fucking crazy strat. Now it's not as good. You know? Now it's not crazy. Still decent. Just you have to think. At the end of the day, Orcs still have Warhorde, Bully Boys, Green Tide, and Tactical, which are all great detachments. Yeah, exactly. They're all great. They're so good. More DAKKA was just crazy. I'm trying to read these salty comments. But like, why do they push things to fucking an Android phone and not both phones? And then why do they not post it on the website first? I don't know why they don't post stuff on the website first, then push it to phones. You know? Any detachment that gives everything assault is generally solid detachment. Yeah, literally. Ink, bro. Diving on my keyboard. aren't you? Does this mean Tactical Brigade should be reverted now? Well, no, because Tactical Brigade was a bit broken as well, and that's had like a decent fix. Even if Billy, when I played against him, didn't even know of any of the changes. Didn't hardly know how to play the game either, but there we go. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what people are saying. Ink, can I get to my buttons, please? Thank you. I went to check and didn't realize until now that you need an Orks codex to see more DAKKA. That's what's crazy. Why are the free detachments? Fucking why do you need a code to see some free detachments on the book, on the app? That's so funny. So funny. Sure, you play the same way to spend CP on War Strat and tag your actual war more carefully. A nerf, sure, and it brings down to earth, but it's still playable. Not sure people need to throw away their new tank busters as a loot unit. Not the obvious choice anymore. Can't gel with Zogron and doesn't live up to its name remotely. Can't imagine it will post a 50% win rate if people try and play it the same. But it is more DAKKA because it's sustained. Army-wide sustained, bro. It's just that Army-wide sustained 2 for 5 turns in a row. Oh, God. Why'd you play it the same if it's changed? I think because people, like... I don't think people always, like, fire all their brain cells in the same order, you know what I mean? They like to do it one at a time, different directions. I'm kind of like a all brain cells at once type of guy. Some people are a single brain cell, you know? That's my polite way of saying, because people don't understand things and are a bit stupid. So yeah, so more DAKKA's nerfed. Will it see play? I don't think it will. Is it overtuned? I think a little bit. Over corrected. Sorry, I think a little bit. Are all players gonna cry? Probably. Probably, but they're already crying. Well, these nerfs are insane. Rip more DAKKA. No rip. Just Just go away. Can you show the army rule in the app again? Yeah. Just to confirm. Screenshot. I like that guy, the meme with the grave on. I'm like, that way. Take your screenshot and send that to your friends. F's in chat for more DAKKA. No rest in peace because it was fucking shit. I'll drink my coffee to that. Was this the only update? I think so. I think so. So yeah, I just think if this was sustained too, it'd still be absolutely broken. I just don't think. I think if they just changed this and didn't change anything else, that would just fix it completely, and it'd still be strong, but it wouldn't be crazy. I think with the correction of the stratagems as well, maybe a little bit over corrected, and probably won't be as good. There is no more sustained at all. Yes, there is. It's there. Are you blind? It's there. During the war. Which is fine. That's what it should be. Caller, why you shoot guns better? Why was it shooting guns better all the time? Can't get dunked on me with my 43% win rate faction. Yeah, literally. Agreed, increasing that strat 2 CP just makes it way worse. Yeah, I think if the strat was 1 CP and the ignore cover one was still as it is, this would still be a crazy good, but nowhere near as good, you know? It's the fact that it's 2 CP and you can't use it on Gretchen. If it was 2 CP but you can use it on Gretchen, I get it. If it's 1 CP you can't use on Gretchen, I get it. 2 CP no Gretchen feels harsh. When are you doing the 10th edition steroid Olympics where you feel the most broken detachments without nerves? That could be funny. That could be funny. Imagine you play DAKKA versus old Eldar with like old devastating wounds. I think DAKKA would win. I think DAKKA might win, which is quite funny. You know? You play the list at the time of the list. The old Tyranids. Early game, calling a wire after you advance your entire army can still shoot for sustain 1 is pretty good still. Yeah, it's pretty good. Being able to advance, shoot, sustain 1, and then charge is still good. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not dead, but now you look at it and you think that the other detachments they have access to, as we mentioned, Tactical Brigade, Warhorde, etc., now looks better. It's not that it's the worst detachment in the game because it's been overly corrected. It's now Orc players have to go back to what they already had a couple of months ago because that is just arguably better at this point. That's the change, really. Orcs have tactics. They have a tactical brigade, bro. You watched it on Friday. You were there, weren't you? I think. And tactical brigade's good. You know, you get like +1 to, what is it, like +1 to hit or something? Good Optimus. Tactical brigade was one of the best ones out of Grotmas. Reroll charge, +1 strength to melee weapons, gain cover, and add 1 to hit and ranged. They're all great buffs, you know. Wait, how did DAKKA get nerfed? Because it's been updated in the app, bro. Breaking news! First report from Hellstormwargaming. Plus strat nerfs. Tactical Brigade did get over nerfed. It's dead. I don't think it is. I disagree. I think it's harder. It's not as broken. I don't think it's dead. Some people thinking that DAKKA didn't need nerf. Yeah. Some people smoke crack like you as well, Puddle. They're all the same. They're all dumb. They're all being dumbos. This is true. Classic GW. Hey guys, which one of these nerfs do you want to apply to a new attachment to balance it out? We've got 4 ideas and each one should be enough. Yes. The app doesn't take precedence as the FAQ nor the download pages haven't changed yet. Chris, you're supping copium because it's just the one's been updated first. That's all that's happened. You know? That just means the app is updated first. It means the others will follow. No elf nerf. No Yunari nerf. But I think, like I've said, when we talk about stats, let's not just look at win rate. Let's not just look at win rate when we talk about stats. That's a straw man argument, you know? Maybe updated before they change it online. I think because when you are pushing updates to apps, you have to like wait for approval. They probably pushed them all at once. They haven't had the iPhone update yet, and they're waiting for everything to get updated before the document comes out. They always update the apps first. I don't know why you keep talking about Valrak, Castellan. If Valrak winning games, GD will nerf them out without pure spite on a Wednesday. Does Valrak play Orks? I don't think so. Does this mean more DAKKA shoes about your tournament? Yeah, Rogan. Yeah, definitely. When the update's out, yeah. Makes sense. I agree though. Didn't need a tad change, so whatever. I don't play Orks. Yeah, it's just the app. The iPhone app hasn't updated, and neither is this, but it will follow. You know, they push them all at the same time, whether they come out today, later today, tomorrow. The Imperial Sanctifiers and Goremongers came out on the app before the website, you know. Nari are beatable. DAKKA is like taking on the Elite Four with your starter. That's such a good analogy. That's such a great analogy. It's usually Thursday for app updates. Well, no, because we had an update. Goremongers came out last week. Literally a week ago today. We talked about it on stream. You know? It's funny because the only thing I search for on the App Store these days is Warhammer 40k, trying to work out if there's an update or not. But yeah, if they just pulled from a database, they could update once and all the phones would update at the same time. But yeah, let me check. Does stat check still do T-Whip? That require planning, yeah, true. How up to date is stat check at the minute? Website will update midday. Not always the case. When was this updated? This is probably like a good one that people should look at when they talk about like, well, Ynnari really strong. You know. Games played. You look at these ones like Real Space Raiders, absolutely crazy. Wind Rider, pretty crazy. Chaos Cult, pretty crazy. But there's just like so little people play them, and then you just see more DAKKA and Ynnari, admittedly, but more DAKKA and Ynnari just taking up 4% of the player population, which is just like obscenely high compared to anything else. You know, these are literally in the 0% rounded down because there's so little people playing them. And then more DAKKA, they're just a 4% spike. I'm trying to see, update, this is last month as well. This hasn't even got this month in it. Stat check, what's going on? Stat check, what's going on? Where's my updated stats? It's the 9th. It's been 2 weeks. They were playing in Canada. Yeah, Canada. Yeah, probably. That's probably why. So you look at this, like the win rate, 66%. Over rep at 1. So... %22% of people who play more DAKKA are going 4-0. You know? Let's look at you need 22%. That's the percent you need to consider. Have I broken this? I think I broke it. 22% of players going 4-0, or 4-1 at least. Let's look at Eldari. Let's see if it's the same. I don't actually know. I'd be surprised it's the same. 13%. So it's similar. It's high, but not quite as high from 2 months ago. A month ago. Because people look at this and go, well, Ynnari really broken, but it is just less. 10% of players don't go as well as more DAKKA. You know? It's high, but 10% of players aren't going... 10% less players are going 4-0. And that's when people, like, accuse me of being like, you're banning it because it's got a similar win rate. You know? People are like, you're banning off a win rate. No, I'm looking at stuff like this. Like, why are like a fifth of the players, double the average, bear in mind, the average is 12.5%. Double the average. Why are they all going 4-0? And it's not because there's something really good. Let's be honest. Can we look at half-band? Put Inky in the way. Yeah, we can look at a half-band if you want. I don't know, I clicked them all on. I'm an idiot. Leagues. Half-band. 0%. Nobody. Nobody goes 4-0. What about Oathband? 7% play Oathband. As someone that hasn't paid attention, what's broken about Ynnari right now? Well, as someone that hasn't played against it, I haven't experienced it firsthand, annoyingly. But the fact that Ynnari have access to a lot of units, because obviously they have Eldar, Harlequins, and Drukhari to play with. And essentially the detachment just overtunes them and lets them act out of phase quite a lot. You know? Lethal intent. Yeah, is that one of the strats, if I remember correctly? Or is it the detachment rule? I'm going to have a look. Let's have a nosy. Lethal intent is to strengthen death. At the end of your opponent's shooting phase, if one or more Ynnari units were destroyed this phase, that unit can make a normal move. So it just allows fast units to get in and get away. You know? Move away serpent twice. Yeah, that's good. So it's just any unit can make a double move, which is pretty cheeky. Especially because you can get in and out of vehicles in the same turn. That could be quite... Move it, get out, shoot, get back in, move it away. That's really, really, really cheeky one. So yeah, but the thing is with it is it's not as oppressive. Because it's very good, but less people are doing well with it. You know? That's what you have to remember. Ynnari very strong. Less people are doing well with it. Whereas more DAKKA, way more people are doing really well with it. Like a third of players. Or whatever it was. Fifth of players. Ynnari really a problem for the high end. Yeah, like, people will play against it and they'd be like, this is broken. But then the high end players, it's always a high end player playing it because the people who aren't playing it at that level can't play it that well. And that's what you have to remember is when more DAKKA is doing really well, most people are going 4-0. A lot of people are going 4-0, you know. And they're not high-end players. They've just got a broken army. So, yeah, I think there's been a lot of conversations about banning armies on win rates, and I don't think anyone is looking at a win rate and banning an army because we've had similar win rates or worse and never banned an army. What people are looking at is how many people are doing insanely well with it and then losing. You know, it's when the loss is happening, you know. You know, it's just a collection of unfun rules. Yeah, true, to be fair. So we don't have the currently up-to-date stats, as it were, but I feel like the stats that we do have up until the 28th of March are pretty on ball and show you the picture, you know. They show you every problem. Orks GG easy. Yeah, literally. It's like you turn up. There's no point. An Orc player, as an Orc player playing more DAKKA as of this weekend, there's no point turning up day one because you already knew you'd won. How's your drukhari Harlequin detachment do? That's the Ynnari one, right? Isn't that the Ynnari one? Yeah. That's the one that's doing really well. It's a space marine problem. Every players will drag Ynnari win rate down. DAKKA is 40k on tutorial mode. Well, actually, no, because if you look at the actual win rate, again, win rate is not great. It's not great stat to look at, but you can see that, like, it's very... Ynnari is very high. Oh, the Dark Eldar Grotmus one. Oh, my apologies. I thought you meant the Eldar. I don't know how well that one does specifically. Was it Reaper's Wager? Was it called? Yeah, Reaper's Wager. It's doing well for like 4 people. If you looked at specifically win rate. We can look at stat check. Hello. Let's do here, right? And just go to Reapers. Rather than having to choose. There you go. The whole win rate is carried by Sky. Is Sky playing Reaper's Wager? What's up? What's up, little boy? Little yowler, aren't you? 45% win rate on average. Where were we? Ynnari specifically. The very beginning had 59% win rate. So a third of players go 4-1. 11. But then you look at Orks and it's more DAKKA, it's 16. More than a third, but a higher average win rate. So if you just even just look just at that, you know. Sky hints at developing a good Reaper's Wager list, so it'll be totally broken next month or 2. Gary loves it. Sky loves it, doesn't he? Sky's been playing Sky Splinter. Sky Splinter's been doing really well. Sky Splinter is good, but that is carried by drukhari. Skari, sorry. Sky. Where's Sky Splinter? Am I blind? I think I'm blind. Chat, I'm blind. I think I'm blind. Where's Sky Splinter? I am blind. Was it ever there, chap? I don't think Sky Splinter's real. So you now do need a nerf, just not a 1-2 GW special. Yeah, you now do need a nerf, but it's not the amount of people going undefeated, you know? It's not the same amount of people. Oh, bless you. It's not the same amount of people going undefeated day 1. That was the big problem. That was the stat people were talking about when they were saying this is broken. We've never had levels like this before. We're not talking about a win rate. You can't look at win rate because every Tom, Dick and Harry has one. Enjoying the alt player responses this morning. The sky is falling because one detachment is an auto take, so they're all reverting to the same second choice, but no one sees that as an issue. Literally, that's the thing, right? We never allowed anything fun. More DAKKA may as well not exist. So with how utter garbage it is now. It's not really though, is it? Is it possible 0 players are playing it? Is it Sky? I thought Sky Splinter was the good one. Anyway, that's your news about more DAKKA getting banned. Hilarious news. Hilarious news. So yeah, when the official update is out, I'll announce an unbanning. Because obviously, if it only updates on the Android store, nothing else, it'll still be banned. But I don't want to like unban it and then be like, well, the update never got pushed, so everyone's got sustained 2 again. Also love that guy just claims sustain 1 plus assault being the default would also be super powerful. That's the thing, because people compare it to what they had 5 minutes ago, to a day ago, you know? That's what they compare it to, and you can't compare it to that anymore because you don't have that. You won't have access to that. So now I think people just struggle to compare it to that, but what they do compare it to is what they had. Well, yeah, sustained 1 is objectively worse than sustained 2, and if I had access to sustained 2 all game rather than sustained 1 during the war, that would be the detachment I play. I wouldn't play sustained 1 in the war, but you don't have access to that, so reconsider, you know. What is the change? They swap the abilities to sustained and assault, so you always have assault, you only get sustained during the war. You only get sustained 1 instead of sustained 2. The stratagem to put you in the war can't be used on grots. The stratagem to put you in the war is TCP. And the stratagem that allows a unit with an 18-inch of a character for the entire army to ignore cover is now 1 unit gains ignore cover. That's everything, I think. It's all in the Discord. It's in news and releases, I think. Yeah, it's all posted in news and releases now because we had the lovely Chris post there in chat. My app hasn't updated, but I'm on iPhone, chat. My app hasn't updated so because I'm on an iPhone. It's only updated on Android as of yet. So yeah. Anyway, that was a slight tangent because that was like, I have no idea that was happening today. I don't know what anything that's happening in GW anymore. I'm always out the loop, chat. I'm always out the loop. I was talking about Helldivers. All alt players are now on iPhone, yeah. I was talking about how I was in the Helldivers video. Did you see? Did you see? Let's look at the comments. Let's look at the comments. I don't like the size of the table. Cool. Have you update? Can you please update a veg without the music? A lot of people complain about the music. I don't think it's that bad.
So we've got a terminated horde that's just here. So it can't move this direction or this direction. It's just going to move down 1 to get closer to us, and it'll move towards the closest Helldiver.
Makes sense.
So in this case, it's going to move onto the square just here.
I had this because, like, I get this on videos sometimes as well, as people saying that they can't hear the video because the music's too loud. The compression on computers compared to phones is actually wildly different. Like, I'm watching this now.
And then we've got a terminated horde this way, so it can't move into the impassable.
The music's there, but it's not like overpowering.
Sure. So it's going to move just to the side.
It's not something I would play throughout a 3-hour video on loop. But then when you play on the phone, it is a lot like it's so much louder. It's crazy.
Okay, so.
But that's me, chat. Spoiler: I play the pyro, which sets everything on fire. Had the best time. I had pyro armor, so I didn't set on fire. But they didn't. My other 2 friends, Jamie and Steve, developers at Steamforge Games, weren't wearing anti-flame armor. Did they all actually to wear matching outfits, or was it coincident? Yeah, they actually to wear all black. I sneakily wore a Dark Souls t-shirt. I wore a Dark Souls t-shirt. But that's relevant. They made the Dark Souls board game. But yeah, these sorts of things when you're like, a company's asking you to like, you know, come film, they usually ask you to wear like a certain colour, plain clothing, no graphics and stuff. Who's that handsome guy? That's me. That's your boy. Pre-haircut. Pre-haircut. So yeah, when I didn't film a battle report a couple of weeks ago, this is why. I started watching it last night, but 3 hours is a bit long. Yeah. Yeah, it is too long. Let's be honest. But some people want to see a full playthrough. This isn't a battle report. This is a sales video. You know, some people want to watch this entire thing and then decide they want to back the campaign and stuff. The game looks neat, but damn, is it a board game? Loads of tokens and cards. That's very normal for a board game, I would say, especially Steamforged ones, because you just need stuff to represent things. A lot of it makes sense. A lot of them you're not using all at the same time, but it's a lot of like anything that's like random. It's a draw mechanic, you know. It's a draw a card, draw from a deck. Because otherwise, how can you do it? Roll a dice, check a table, then you got a rule book out every time. The nice thing about cards is you don't really need to know the rules because the card tells you what it does, if that makes sense. So, yeah, there's a lot of cards. There's a lot of stuff going on, but it's a big complex board game. It's not like it's not Snakes and Ladders. It's just my personal issue. That's fair. That's fair. I mean, if it's not for you, it's not for you. Yeah, this looks crazy, but it's because they're trying to show everything. You don't need all of this out. You need these. This is your like your initiative track, and you need your player character. Looks less complex than Kingdom Death. Yeah, I've played Kingdom Death, like on TTS and stuff like that. Very complex. Would not know how to play this. I know how to play this now. I'd not played. I'd not even had a. I'd not played this at all. I'd not had like a trial run or anything. I had a quick explanation of what we were doing. It was just Helldivers. But I understood what I was doing pretty quickly. That's what the cards are beneficial for, you know. This is like your personal tracker things. This is my pyro. So I've got like my stratagems here, then my weapons underneath. And then this is like my ammo, and this is like my damage tech. And then I've got like a hand of cards to decide what I'm going to do every turn. But yeah, a lot of people complain about like the board that you start in a single square and move out, but I think it works really well. Because it's like you're like exploring the map, and it's like like you say, like fog of war and stuff. And I think they've added a rule where it's like if you get too far and you're taking up too much space, it's like remove all the tiles except for the 4 most recent ones and then continue playing, which I think is really nice because it just represents you like moving through the battle grid. So someone that I know, I can't remember who asked, but someone said, is it fun? Yeah, just be aware, just so my biases are in check. I'm not being paid to tell you about this video. I am in the video. They're using my name for marketing and stuff. I'm not being paid to promote it. I'm not like earning any money by telling you about the game. I was in the video. That was a separate thing. Now, don't need to tell you about it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. I love board games, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Steamforged games. Just like in terms of like the products, I have a lot of them. I have a bunch of their games. I don't have a free copy right now. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, when it comes out full. I don't have a free copy right now. I don't have one like hidden away or anything like that. But yeah, I thought it was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it. Spoilers, I did really well in the game. Spoilers, I did really well in the game. Okay, just to be aware. Just be aware of that. But yeah, I thought you like really captured like the... Because I think a lot of complaints about it, there's not many miniatures in the game, in the board game. You know, there's like 3, 6, 9, and then 4 player characters. That doesn't look like a lot when you are like, it's Helldivers against the Tyranids, but everything just respawns really fast. They're basically relying heavily on like the nest mechanic. So like you got these little tokens here, here, and here, and these are essentially enemy respawns. So if you've played Helldivers, you know that there's like nests and etc. So every time they would activate, they respawn essentially. So it's like this is like your initiative track, essentially your marching order. And yeah, so like basically every time you kill one, a fucking another one will pop up anyway. So Nerf Pyro. Yeah, nerf Pyro. Pyro a bit broken. Pyro broken. Nah, just kidding. Pyro's not even broken. It's just I kept fucking throwing firebombs at everyone and not caring. I was that annoying guy when you solo queue a lobby and you get team killed and you just spamming chat being like, wow, great. That was me. I was throwing firebombs everywhere. See these little yellow round tokens? This is me up here, by the way. My friends are down here. These little yellow things. I've basically set the ground on fire, and I kept throwing grenades at my teammates. Can you land a drop pod on your mate? Yes, you can. There's essentially a scatter dice. I don't know I can't remember what they called it. We've got like a north, south, east, west dice, and if you land too close and you can scatter onto yourself. But yeah, I've got like the 500 kg. You get like, I think there's hell bombs. There's like weather mechanics and stuff. So there's like an event deck. So halfway through initiative order, you draw from the event deck, which represents like your like stratagem disruption, like the clouds stuff they do, random shit basically. So yeah, it looks complex because there's loads of tokens everywhere, but it's just that they're all easy reach as well because we're trying to play. We're all sat next to each other. It's not the optimal playing position. Normally you'd have like one player here, and then one either side, so you can spread your shit out. But obviously we're filming, so it's all stacked at one side, so it looks, because obviously it's empty on this side of the board. But yeah, I thought it was really fun. I really liked it. I really want to play again. I'm tempted to like text Jamie like, yo, want to play a game of Helldivers? Do you want to play a little game of Helldivers? Do you want to do some playtesting development? Where's my Bile Titan that inflates the box size and retail price by tenfold? There is a Bile Titan, but it's an expansion. So yeah, the core game is just the Tyranids, you know, 9 models. You know, 9 models in your player characters, but there is a Bile Titan. So this is all the core box. And then, yeah, there's, oh, add-ons. Oh, you have to keep going. That feels like the end of the website, doesn't it? You just keep going. This is explaining add-ons. Unlocked content. Yeah, look, the Bile Titan's there. I didn't see this in person. I only saw what was in the core box. But those Helldivers are huge. So yeah, there's a Bile Titan. There's a Strider. The factory Strider. Looks so good. I just want to paint them all. They've got the factory Strider. And then they've got the... I've never seen this. The Impaler? What the hell is the Impaler? I played 60 hours... of Helldivers, and I've never seen the Impaler. What is it? But then the other expansion, they got the automatons, so you got like the dropship, fucking crazy dropship, but gunship as well. And then they got all the other stuff, the berserkers, devastators. Yo, Steamforge Games making Warhammer. Steamforge Games making Warhammer before Warhammer did. They've got other Steamforge Games making a Beyblade chat. Isn't it funny that it was kind of inspired by Warhammer and then made by a different company? Hilarious shit, bro. He came out as ridiculous. It does the spike through the ground like StarCraft Zero Defensor. Oh shit, okay. It's so funny that it just looks like all your favorite STL files. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. So yeah, so you can now you can have an official dreadnought from Hulk Obliterator from Steamforge. The models are very cool. I would like to paint them. Also, maybe we should dive sometime. I've been playing a lot of Helldivers. I keep posting on the Discord. No one wants to play with me. Look, chat. I didn't play Helldivers for months. I filmed this. I've been on Helldivers every day. I've been on it every single fucking day, bro. I'm addicted. I'm in the hole. I can't escape for Super Earth and democracy. I can't escape. I'm in. I'm so in. I've been playing Minecraft past 2 days, but I've been playing it every other day. Why don't you do Helldivers now on stream? I could, but people would leave. People would leave. That's the problem. Are there time-based events for the command sequences? What? The command sequence. Time-based events. I'm trying to understand your question. If we look back here, so you got like your initiative order here. So basically, this is like a random. You're basically putting the thing you want to do that turn and randomly shuffle it in a deck with all the enemies on the board. So the actions are completely random, and then you go through, and then when you hit halfway through the initiative tracker, or 4 players, you hit an event, and the events are random. I'm not 100% sure of all the events, because obviously I only saw the ones I played on the day. I didn't look through all the cards. I haven't like read through all the cards. I only read a very briefly, like a very brief rundown of a prototype mission rulebook. Sorry. I know they've published a rulebook now, like a beta one that people can have a look at. But yeah, so they've got like random events that like disrupt you throughout. You know. Block off a hell pad, you know, everyone takes damage, everything activates, for example, you know, all the enemies activate early. Sometimes, yeah, they have stuff that like changes the initiative order. I think they call it command order. That'll be the one, right? I think there was one where it's kind of like spawn a shrieker and put it up to the front also, or put to the back or something. Not shrieker, a stalker. I'm in the game. You want to do a missile strike, you have to input a sequence of things up, down, left, right. Oh, that's what this hell pad's for here. So the hell pad is essentially that, what you're asking. If you want to call your stratagems, you call them commands, which is why that's why I was confused. So you have a hell pad. So these green cubes were down the right hand side because we're all playing 3-player. All right, so you basically have 1 for each player, which is going to be hard. You're not really supposed to play solo unless you're playing with the Patriot. So 2-player, you'll have 2. Essentially, if you want to call a stratagem, like for example, I have the 500 kg up, right, down, down, down. You know, over here. When I want to play that, I block off the hell pad for what I want to use. You know, so I'd put up, right, down, 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 for example. And I'd use my stratagem cubes. It's a bit rudimentary, but it makes sense when you explain it. So when I want to use a strat, I place my cubes down on the relevant arrow keys, and then I can play the stratagem. And then, but what that does do is it blocks off those keys for anyone else during that battle round or that turn or whatever they want to call it, during that initiative sequence. So if I go up, right, down, 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 there's now, when I play 3-player, there's no downs left for that battle round, that turn. Then at the end of the turn, when the initiative gets shuffled, they get wiped. So you do have a hell pad. You can use your stratagems. As you can see, like we have stratagems on our cards, for example. So I've got like the 500 kg and the napalm strike. Jamie had, I think I can't remember what, he had some sort of eagle, I can't remember. And then Steve had a turret that he could drop. Now I think they're going to be redeveloping a little bit, because I think what we found was, because it's like, you have like 3 downs and you're playing 3-player, that blocks off pretty much every stratagem, because most stratagems are 4 and they use 1 of each, you know. So if I go up, right, down, 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 no one else can play stratagem. That's it. So I think they're updating it, and they're gonna like look at that mechanic, because that was kind of what we were doing. We were kind of playing the very first like alpha version, you know. We were playing the alpha version. There was things that came up that were kind of, you know, fixed on the fly on the day and stuff like that, which is kind of like a little behind the scenes. So I'm basically a play tester, you know. But yeah, so there's like lots of things that they want to like work on, but it's just like the alpha version, that's how it works. So yeah, we have like reinforcement strats, you know, you go up, down, right, right, up, or something, whatever that is. So whenever in their turns, if you don't automatically respawn, because you automatically respawn when you activate, if you're dead, people can bring you in early, you know, and reinforce you by using the strats. So yeah, all the strats and stuff, it's very much feels like you're playing a board game version. It's not really missed anything, if that makes sense. Except for the soundtrack while you're playing. That's, they could just do a little MP3 player, a little Bluetooth speaker to be playing the soundtrack. That's all I would say it's missing. Is there a link to the Kickstarter? Yeah, I can post it. One sec. But actually, I think it's quite cheap. You know, I would say it's quite cheap for what it is. Because it's 250 for everything. The core game's 60? Yeah, the core game is 60 quid. So this is the core game. It's 60. That is honestly, I think you got to pay VAT on top if you're in the UK. So you're probably looking more like 70, 80. But like, all of this, what I'm playing here, this isn't with the expansions. That's just the core game. I think it's quite cheap. 250 for all of it. That's your core set, your automaton expansion, your Bile Titan, Strider, Patriot, Impaler, and the two expansions they haven't revealed yet. I thought 60 quid was quite cheap. Because really, whilst I said that the miniatures respawn all the time, there's not that many in there, but there's loads of stuff, you know? So... was there another question? What have I missed? More DAKKA. Yeah, more DAKKA's been nerfed, gamers. If you didn't know, more DAKKA got nerfed. Sustained is only during the war, and it's only sustained 1. Been updated on Android, it'll probably come out later. Have you seen the models in person? What do you think to them? I kind of spoke about it on stream earlier. Obviously, the game that we're playing is like a prototype version. It's 3D printed models and like prototype cards and stuff. I thought the models were really nice. Really, really nice, yeah. They're like 32mm scale, so they're slightly taller than you'd expect. A little bit bigger than you expect. And as I mentioned, like for example, the charger they're gonna make way bigger because the charger's too small. They printed it too small. Is it a campaign game? That is one thing I actually don't know. Actually, Eddie, I don't know. Supposedly, I think the idea of the board game is it's actually a training mission. It's a training simulator for the main game. So it's in canon. This is real. It's a training simulator, which is quite funny. I believe that's the case. So that's quite a fun way to make it canon. Is to be like, yeah, it's a training simulator. So, but yeah, the minis are really nice. As I said, I told a little story. For quick footnotes, if you were here, sorry for repeating myself. So the Shrieker is huge. The big wing. You can't do that. The big wing thing. Absolutely crazy. Okay, absolutely crazy big. So there's a point where it's going to spawn up here. Do we have it on the board? Yeah, there you go. You can see it there, just next to me. So it's obviously near me because I'm blowing up all the hatcheries, you know, around here. That was our mission. It was to like destroy 5 nests essentially, or 5 hatcheries. So the Shriek is huge. This is a 3D printed version. I just put my camera back on, one sec. It's a 3D printed version. Very top heavy because the base is 3D printed, the model's 3D printed. It's obviously going to be fixed when it's in production. It's actually a plastic model, but very top heavy. So Jamie off camera was like, you need to move that in a minute, so let's have a little practice run. And I was like, okay, cool. I don't have anything that's similar, so I'm just using Rayquaza again. Rayquaza. He was like, grab it from the back. And I was like, okay, like this. He was like, yeah. And then move it. And I was like, oh, wicked. That's cool. That's fine. Yeah, I can manage that. So I put the model down very gently. And as I lifted my thumb away, I flicked the model with my thumb and knocked it. And everybody in the room went silent and gasped. And the model rolled. Bear in mind, it's 3D printed, very delicate. It rolled on the mat. Thankfully, didn't break. Very funny. Very funny. So yeah, the models are really nice in person. The character models are really nice. The hordes are really good. I think they're just making the charge a little bit bigger. I think they're going to make the Shriek slightly smaller. But yeah, great fun. Great fun. If you like Helldivers, I'd definitely recommend it. The only downside is it's not coming out until technically next year. You know, I think it's like October 26th is the delivery date. which is a bit far in my opinion, but that's the only complaint I would have. So, more DAKKA nerfs. Yeah, hang on, we went over them this morning. I have them all on Discord ready. The gaming of training sim fits pretty appropriately. Yeah, exactly. Wargames is a concept started as trading. Yeah, exactly. It's a fun way to kind of like make it canon rather than just being like a rip-off, if that makes sense. As a sitting as a super Earth, I'll be backing it all in as a present for future me. That is one way to do it. That is one way to do it. It's a present to your future self, you know? And yeah, for the price, I'm a bit like, yeah, it's pretty... The price is pretty good, I would say. I was quite surprised. I thought it'd be a lot more expensive. There's an article about more DAKKA. More DAKKA detachment update. It seems there is a thing. There's too much DAKKA after all. The release more DAKKA attached to the Orks, proving itself to be just a bit too shooty on the tabletop. With that in mind, the Warhammer Design Studio assessed the Orks' recent performance at all levels of match play and decided to make a few slight changes that should make more DAKKA more fun to play with and against for everyone. The detachment rules have been changed to passively grant assault, while all units now gain sustain 1 during the war. The get stuck in lads now excludes Gretchen as they ain't the lads, and long gun control bursts will now only work for the unit that won't lay off the trigger. You can down the update. Finally updated it. There it is. In writing, chat. In writing. There it is. Not relying on an app. It's up. It's confirmed. There you go. More fun to play with, yeah. This is too much. I think this is too much. Yeah, it's excluding Gretchen now. That's the big one. If it was 2 CP, I would be like, yeah, okay. Grot Jail's annoying. If they go second, they've got it. If they go first, they can't use it. That's the thing, right? Grot Jail only works turn 1. And it only really works if you went second, but you need to scout and then go into the war turn 2. You know, because if you go first, you only have 1 CP. You can't use Get Stuck In Lad. So it kind of killed it anyway. To make it 2 CP and exclude Grots, crazy. Crazy. I think this should be 1 CP or 1 CP excluding Grots or 2 CP. Grot Jail is dumb as fuck. Yeah, but they kind of killed it by putting it to 2 CP. I don't think they needed to kill it and exclude Grots all together. You know? Gretchen give a CP on a 4+. Yeah, but then you're banking on you're scouting 9 and banking on a 4+. You know? And at least the rest of the armies are getting sustained all game. This is fine because that strat was fucking dumb. Can someone explain Grot Jail now it's dead? No, because it's not a thing. So, Grot Jail, okay. Grot Jail was essentially 20 Grots. 20 Grots and Zogrod. Zogrod, the named Beast Snagger character with the funky hair. Zogrod gave the unit Scout 9. And -1 to hit and wound, I think. -1 to wound especially, maybe -1 to hit as well. 22 plus Zogrod, because you got the run herders. So you allow the unit to scout 9 and then -1 to wound, which is obviously really good. So go first, you scout forwards 9 inches. Whilst that unit is in the war, they get +6 to their move. So move 12 rather than 6. And then, because they're in the war, they have assault. And because they're in the war, they can advance and charge. And because they're in the war, they have a 5+ invuln. So what happens is, turn 1, you have a unit that moves 21 with it plus an advance. So 21-inch infantry, plus an advance roll. So 22 minimum. That has a 5+ invuln. They can advance and shoot. It can advance and charge. It can, it is -1 to wound. And it moves 21 inches. So what happens is the Grot Jail just throws a unit that's kind of annoying to deal with into the opponent's deployment zone turn 1 by going first. You know? That's what this strat was used for. Because you need the Grots in the war to survive, to get the invuln. To make them move really fast. If you don't jail, you stretch across the entire board because you could just hold all 3 objectives. So it puts whatever's at the front in jail, yeah. It puts your army in jail because you can't really deal with it until... What are you going to do in the movement phase? Do a couple of mortal wounds if you're lucky? Do D3 mortal wounds, maybe? Because it's so long, because it's 23 models, one of them being a 40 mil base, you can just put a line in front of your opponent's deployment. Like, not even units. Put a line in front of your opponent's deployment zone. All of it. And then there'd just be... You'd be stuck in your deployment zone that first turn. The reason it's so good is because, one, it slows your opponent down, but it also keeps all of your trucks, you know, safe, because what you can do is you can block off where your opponent can get line of sight to your trucks, etc., and they can go hide in the middle of the board. Then turn 2, Grots are probably dead. Grots are probably dead because your entire army's trapped in by 1 unit. Your entire army kills that 1 unit. Okay, you've killed 180 points or whatever it is. It's something stupid. Turn 2, they call a war. All their army has sustain 2. Now all their army has assault. So they get out of the vehicles and advance, and they can see you because you've not been able to go anywhere because you were stuck in the grot jail. And then it shoots the fuck out of you. And then if anything's left, you got a 5+ invulnerable before you get to shoot again. Still with sustain 2. That's essentially how a more DAKKA game would go. You know, not much can survive not being able to move, essentially being penned into a corner or wherever your deployment is, and then their entire army coming out with sustain 2 and shooting it off the table. That's why more DAKKA's dumb. Is this an overcorrection? Yeah, I think 2 CP relying on a 4+ to do a grot jail is kind of annoying, but the entire army having sustain 1 makes it way less oppressive. I think this strat is fine. I think that strat was crazy. I think that change is fine. I think there should be 1 CP no grots or 2 CP with grots, but it's changed now, so unlucky. The main change being this one, you know? Now you only get the sustain during the war. Thank you for the explanation. I guess it missed it the first time it came up. I don't think I've ever really gone that in depth because, like, the problem is with, like, being, like, someone like me who has to, like, explain a lot of things. It's hard to remember that, like, not everything's common knowledge. To me, someone says jail, I know that means, you know? But, if you've never come across it or you've only heard it in passing and don't really understand it, then having someone explain it is good. But sometimes I forget that. That's my job, you know? So, yeah, but... And also, if you don't see every stream where I'm talking about, you're going to miss it as well. But yeah, essentially for 1 CP and 150 points, a unit was getting like 7 or 8 buffs. And then locking your in deployment zone. So yeah, so now you know why more DAKKA was nerfed. And there's the official update. We've kind of gone through it already. We've gone through all the changes. I think there's a little bit of an overcorrection in some parts, but not all of it. Get stuck in, lads, is worth like 6 CP measured to other army stratagems. Yeah, that's the thing. If you went, right, here's a detachment for any army you play. Here's a detachment for any army you play. You've got 1 CP to get plus 6-inch move. You got 1 CP for advance and charge. You got 1 CP for gain assault. You got 1 CP for a 5+ invuln on a unit. You got 1 CP for -1 to wound. And you got 1 CP for scout 9. You'd be like, okay, that's a pretty good detachment. And you go, yeah, it's on a 180 point unit, costs 1 command point in grots. Playing against Ynnari in the TTS, they're now 100% at the top dog. Yeah, Ynnari are the army now. You know? But only in the right hands. That's what you have to remember. A lot of people are going to be like, well, Ynnari didn't get nerfed. Only in the right hands. So yeah. Can't wait for you to learn nothing in the Thunderwolf jail to return. Yeah. Thunderwolf jail was annoying. I've played that a couple of times. Thunderwolf jail's hard. Well, it was hard. Maybe soon Thunder will survive. I think Thunder will survive. I think they even get new ones. I might go out on a limb, not a whim, a limb, and say maybe they get new Thunderwolf models. Is that crazy? Is that crazy, chat? Please don't kill my aspect heads when they kill Yunari. Yunari won't get touched now. Now, this is the edition of infantry. I press X to doubt. I don't think Thunderwolves will go, but it's because there's so much other bloat that they could get rid of first. You know? You're still trying to sell Thunderwolves? I haven't tried. I probably should, but I'm leaving it too late. I probably should. I have 18. It'd be kind of annoying if that unit went. But yeah, we went through it. There's so much other bloat stuff that they could get rid of first, that then if they're only down to 17 units, like, getting rid of wolves is like, God. Gotta sell them now before Legends hits. I just don't. I said we went through it. I don't know if they are on the chopping block. You know? I don't know if they're on the chopping block, to be honest. I don't 100% see it yet. When they've doubled up on scouts, devastators, reavers. They've got like 3 versions of different finecast wolves. Not even wolf riders, just wolves. I don't think it's all going to be gone. Because what's the Space Wolves unique unit at that point? Fucking Blade Guard. Blade Guard with round shields. No way Hounds of Mordecai survive. Yeah, they don't even sell. Wolfen, that's it. Yeah, they'll have Wolfen. I want to talk about the drukhari that pops on the car boot sale. Can't really talk about leaks. Can't really talk about leaks, I'm afraid. What do you think of the rumored changes to blessings? I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. Understood. Yeah, I can probably say I've seen it. Quite funny, but I don't know anything about it. Dunra, thanks for 11 months. Yay for 11 months of being a freeloader. Thanks for the gifted memberships, everyone. World Eater blessings. As I said, I've got no idea about it, and I can't really discuss leaks just because. Think about it as a logical point of view from my end. It's if I'm like sat here talking about a leak and I'm right, it looks like I've leaked it, you know. So I can't really like divulging them, I'm afraid. So we'll just have to wait and see. Games Workshop will post an article to post a codex eventually, you know. But Dunra, thanks for 11 months. We have started a new game chat. If you want to bump this number up, we're trying to beat our high score of 27. Good luck. Take a unit for 5 faction unique models, make them monopose primaris, and have bigger bases. Reduce your 3 models, but price sorted. But that's what they do. Yeah, I think Thunderwolves would be a crazy release right now if they release new Thunderwolves. But it could happen. What leak is the correct answer? Well, yeah. Usually if I know more than I should, I'll ask what league. If I don't know anything, I'll say I can't talk about it. At least being a GW fan helped me emotionally ready to be a Nintendo fan. Oh, man. I hate how real that 5-3 is. Is it? I think they've hidden it really well to go, okay, instead of 5-man, here's a 3-man unit that's really cool. It is just shrinkflation, right? We are all in agreement. It's just shrinkflation. Hidden really well. They've just made the models ever so slightly bigger. And then... and then fucking... They just, like, reduced 2 of them. I'm still so pissed off that Danson's got dumb fucking bird robots and World Eater 1 character while Wolf's got a full range refresh. It's cool, but what happened to Year of Chaos? Angron, don't fall for it! Year of Chaos was last year! Year of Chaos was last year! When he brought out Skaven, which is Chaos! Unit size is tied to box size. Don't think it is. Don't think it is. Possessed are in the similar box, you know, they're 5. They're in the same size box as aggressors. I don't care, Mike. I want flying disc rubrics with last cannon mind bullets. Give them to me. Getting mad at something you made up in your own head. You are truly a Games Workshop enjoyer. It's a mono post for me too. You run multiple units and they just start to look rubbish. Yeah, it's that's what I find so annoying. It's the fact that whenever you look across the table, or I look across my own army, I can see the same set of legs 4 times or whatever. You know? You can see the same set of legs 4 or 5 times in a single unit sometimes. Especially because they get mixed up or whatever. It's so frustrating. That's why I wanted to change my... I'm looking at Emperor Children now. My Tormentors Infractors, you know? When I made them Mark 6. At least it changed it up a little bit. There's still 5 models of the same fucking pose. But at least they look slightly different. You know? I wouldn't mind the monopose if they hadn't also somehow made them take like 3 times longer to build than older multi-pose kits. Yeah, like the way that they hide mold lines now is really good. But yeah, it just there is a lot more stuff to do. 10 of the same legs looks less repetitive than 10 of the same 2 legs. I'm confused. Shadowson, who you fighting for? Whose side are you on? Models seem to be more flashy now and undeniably look great, but the old sculpts were easy to customize and the sprues were laid out much better. Yeah, I think that's definitely true for like Space Marines as well, because obviously you could just like take any kit, and then just smash them together to make something new, you know? They're all cross-customizable, which you just don't get anymore. I said, like, Infractors and Tormentors is the latest kit that I've seen that actually works, because a lot of them don't. Baby Marines all have the same legs. No, they don't. If you talk about, like, 3rd edition ones, yeah, not, like, the Tactical Squad. Hide mold lines. My Emperor Children Army had loads and I had to scrape. I hope that mine was just a lemon in the regard and they're better across the board. I mean, mine had mold lines, but it went awful. The problem was having mold lines in the worst parts, like across the top of the backpack. You know? I think what they do is they hide join lines. I think if I said mold lines, I meant join lines much better now. You know? Because the way that they put the bodies and legs together, the mold lines are usually the gaps in the armor, which works. The join lines, not mold lines. The join lines are like the gaps in the armor. That works really, really well. I think that is a good way to do it. But yeah, it can be just annoying when you've got like the same model repeated fucking 15 times. Like, why am I building them? Just sell them to me pre-built, you know? Just put it in a box and pre-build them. Still not built my Emperor Children box, but very excited for them. Yeah, Emperor Children are cool. And the rest is out this Saturday, right? If you're getting the rest on Saturday, Outpost in chat. Make sure you use my link. My bot doesn't seem to be working today. That's what I've noticed. Yeah, it's not been nothing. Has my bot wiped itself? Cacos and Lucy's apparently really short supply. Well, you better get some using my link in the description. Yo! McNallen Jones, thanks for the prime, dude. Really appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it, buddy. Very kind of you. Why is my Nightbot not connected to my channel? Pardon? There we go. Should be updated now. Let me try it because it wasn't working before. Where is it? They're absolutely cracked on tabletop. I've seen Liam do abhorrent things to people 20 machine. I think that's the because of Liam, right? Don't get me wrong, Emperor Children are pretty good, but I think that's mostly because of Liam rather than the army. Because I think Liam could just smash most people and make them and get 20-0s here and there everywhere. I think the army helps, obviously. He needs an army to play with. But I don't think it's like indicative of the army exclusively. That's what I'm trying to say. Servitors power packs of mold lines over the middle, top of which goes over the bunch of ribbed vent paths. Yeah, the best way to get rid of those is extra thin plastic glue with the brush and literally brushing them away. But yeah, you have that with like Horus Heresy stuff and Chaos especially. It's a pain in the ass. Absolute pain in the ass. So, anyway, chat, man, today's stream was supposed to be about tariffs, but I feel like we've kind of missed a lot of it. You know? We've kind of like missed a lot of it because we spoke so long about more DAKKA and Helldivers. Have you unbanned Orks, you did? Yeah, I'll be unbanning Orks. Why are you not watching the stream, Deck? Fucking cringe lord. Lemonade stand enjoyer, yeah. But what I did find was Channel 4 explained the tariffs very easily in a short video. Let me know if you noticed anything weird.
Worse for Britain than you think, and I can prove it. Trump's tariffs could be worse for Britain than you think, and I can prove it with these. Imagine... That's
right, Channel 4 are using Warhammer to explain tariffs. Because it's actually going to directly affect Warhammer for US enjoyers. You know?
You're a British company, hypothetically making something like this from Warhammer. All your production's here in the UK, plus a decent chunk of your customers. But you also sell a lot to the US. In fact, they're your biggest market.
That's right. Americans are all stinky plague marines. Americans are just all stinky plague marines, as told by Channel 4 News. This country's insane. Well, it's actually a great analogy before we get into it, because this is a prime example of what America's new tariffs are going to affect, because everything for Warhammer is made in the UK and then shipped everywhere else, you know? So Warhammer's made in the UK and shipped out. So if there's a tariff on the UK like there is that they've added, then Warhammer will be hit by those tariffs when it's imported to the UK, into the US, sorry. It's printed in the UK. What models? The books are made in China. On the back of the books and the box and stuff like that, designed in the UK, printed in China, you know? So I think terrain may or may not be made in China, but 90% of the what GW sells, plastic models, is made in the UK. You know?
Thanks to Donald Trump's new tariffs, the companies you sell to in America will have to pay the US government 10% every time they buy one of these figurines. If that's passed on to consumers as higher prices, you could lose some of these American customers. And that's not an accident, by the way. The president actually wants Americans to stop buying from foreign countries like Britain and switch to US-made products. Now, maybe it's just a small loss in America. Hopefully most of your customers are dedicated and willing to pay a bit more for your products. But what if it's catastrophic? What if it's what economists call high elasticity of
I wonder which intern got to build those bad lads up. Yeah, they're built so badly as well.
demand, where a small rise in price pushes loads of customers away? What next? You could try and make that money back by ramping up the price you charge to British customers. That might work, but it could mean you're losing business there too. Or maybe you keep the same prices and swallow the cost. That's better for your British customers, but someone else loses out, the UK government, because smaller profits for you means fewer taxes for them. And if you keep cutting into your own margins, does your whole business just collapse? So yes, American companies will only have to pay 10% to import British goods, and that's a lot less than they'll pay on EU and Chinese products, but we'll still feel the downsides here.
A great video, very simply explaining a very complex issue that no one really knows what's going on right now. You know? Don't smack my balls around like that, bro. That's the thing. I think there's a lot of talk about tariffs, a lot of talk about there was a really crazy tweet post about Nintendo about the Switch 2 last week, because obviously the Switch 2 was announced, the price was announced extremely high, and then Donald Trump announced tariffs of like 46% to Vietnam and 100 and something to China now. Then the tariffs, well, the tariffs came out the same day as the announcement of the price, and then since Nintendo have pulled pre-orders for America. I've got my Switch 2 pre-order in because I live in sunny United Kingdom. We don't have crazy tariffs on China. We have tariffs. We don't have crazy tariffs on China. Now with the update to these tariffs, then they've had to postpone the Switch 2 launch because they just don't know what the price of a Switch 2 will cost in terms of like how much it will cost to get it to the country to sell it before these tariffs are actually confirmed, because they change every single day. It was announced like 4 days ago that Ford, the American car dealer, is moving to Mexico, and Donald Trump has said, on you specifically, Ford, if you do this, you're having a 200% tariff to the US, because he's just using it as a weapon. There's no thought process to it. Gifted membership to not mention Switch 2 pre-orders. Chat, I need some gifted memberships. I ordered my Switch 2 yesterday. Chat, need some gifted memberships. How am I going to pay for a Switch 2 if this line doesn't go up more? But yeah, a lot of people are saying, like, why don't they just... Because there was a post from Hero Forge, who are directly affecting. Because obviously everyone's talking about video games going up in price. It's everything, chat. It's everything. But as Hero Forge saying, on the 2nd of April, United States made the decision to impose significant tariffs on all goods imported to the US. Hero Forge being very famous for making 3D printed D&D heroes, you know, and stuff like that. And just miniatures in general. As all our 3D physical products are manufactured in several international locations, including the EU and India, here is no exception to these steep import taxes. Because that's what they are. A lot of people don't realise, or maybe you do if you're watching me. Hopefully you do if you're watching me. It's that everything's going up. And you can't just magic up tariff. Tariffs are a protectionary tax on a product, okay? That's all they are. And it's just a protectionary tax, because if you don't understand how a tariff works very basically, okay, it is a tax on a product coming into a country. There are tariffs all around the world. Now, the way that America has done reciprocal tariffs is not reciprocal at all. It is using a very basic formula of imports versus exports divided by imports to come up with a reciprocal. And basically, depending on how much America buys to how much they export to a country, they've given tariffs based on that. But if you wanted me to explain tariffs very simply, okay, very, very simply, let's get a little dry wipe. Okay, let's say in the UK, okay, they make a bag of rice. Here we go, rice. All right. We don't grow rice in the UK, just a reference. But let's say in the UK, it costs £1, okay? This is how much they sell the rice for. They sell it for I'm drawing dollars, it's easier. They sell it for $1 in the UK. All right. However, in India, okay, in India, much easier to grow rice, better climate, all right? Better climate. So their rice, which has a slightly bigger pack, let's say they can actually sell it for 50p, 0.5. 50p, all right? So then we sell it to the UK because they can sell it for 50p. All right. So now you've got rice at $1 and you got rice at 50p. You're going to buy the one at 50p. Okay. That's just how things work. But then the UK company are like, wow, sad face. Wow, sad face. Look, here's a sad face. Crying emoji. Crying emoji. Because we want to sell our rice, but the people in India can sell it cheaper. All right. But what about our industry, the rice farm in the UK? Well, then the government, the big bad government goes tariff. Okay. If you don't understand how tariffs work, this is what happens. So what will happen is they'll go, you know what? Okay, we need this industry. So what we'll do is we'll tax the consumer, to be clear, consumer, not here, because India is still going to sell their rice at 50p. All right, the retail price is different. They're still going to sell their rice at 50p, but the government, Gov, will add £1. Okay, they'll add £1. So now, when you buy the India rice, it's £1.50. Let's look there we go and turn it to rice field. So now the Indian rice is £1.50 and the UK rice is £1. So what a tariff does, it is a government tax to subsidize the home company, you know. In this instance, in our very shit example, okay, the Indian rice, which is still selling to the country from the country for the same price. Okay, the government is adding a £1 tax. So now it's £1.50 because it's passed on to the consumer. It's never paid by the country. And the consumer pays a £1 tax on the India rice. So this company doesn't die. That's what a tariff is that's what a tariff's used for. That's why they use all over the world. One of the biggest one is a lot of countries tariff China, but specifically EVs or electric vehicles, because Chinese EVs are very cheap and they would flood the market and destroy all your favorite car brands. So what their governments all around the world do, especially Germany, because obviously they have like fucking every car company known to man, it feels like, Germany has high tariffs on China for EV specifically, just so the car companies, which are lobbying them, which are paying them big donations, are not flooded with BYD cars, so they can still sell their Jaguars, BMWs, etc. Whatever. You know, who owns Jaguar now? I don't think it's a British company anymore. It might even be American, I don't know. BMW, shit like that. But what the US is doing, what the US has done, or Trump specifically, is looked at how much they buy from a country, how much they sell to a country, and then tariffed everything. Tariff everything. So when you see posts like this, and we share your frustration, we're putting our prices up, people are like, make it in the USA! Why don't you just make it in the USA? And the flawed reality of making it in the USA, like this idiot, is that if, one, let's be honest, a lot of the West relies on the exploitation of the East. That's just kind of how it's always been. Do I agree with it? No. Am I a part of it? Yeah, I have an iPhone. Let's be honest. However, even if you look outside of labor costs, which is the main problem, if you look at the idea, let's say Games Workshop is like, you know what, these tariffs are really cringe. I'm going to move production to the USA so I don't have to pay the tariff. Well, you've got the cost of building a factory, which is tens of millions of pounds or dollars. You've got the cost of training new people, which is millions, you know, and also takes time. It also takes time. So there's a lot of right-wing fucking dickheads coming out being like, just make it in America, but they're forgetting that it's going to take years and millions to do that, okay? Which then that cost has to be recouped, so it has to be added on to the cost of the product. If a product costs $30 now and they've had to spend $50 million on building a factory and training loads of people, where do you think that money's going to come from? It's going to come from the product that's being sold. But also everything that they use to make the product, the machines, the parts, the packaging, the printing, all comes from China. So that will get tariffed on the way in. You know, everything else, the plastic raw material, they might make the physical product and pack it in the US, but everything else that is made to make, or needed to make the product, you know, ink from a printer, you know, fucking the raw plastic, the fucking, the vehicles, the ships that are shipping the product across the sea so they can actually make it in the US. It's Chinese a lot of the time, or it's from a different country. You know, so everything you can just like make it in America, but then outside of physical factory costs and retraining costs and higher labor costs and recouping all that cost via the product, people are so dumb and don't realize that literally everything that people use is probably from a different country. We're in a global trade economy. That's kind of like why it's called the global economics, you know. So then after all of that, Games Workshop is like, you know what I'll do is I'll spend 50 million on a factory. I'll spend 104% tariffs on getting my books printed in China and then shipped here because we can't do it ourselves because it's cheaper to do it there. We'll eat that cost, but then we'll have to pass them on to consumers. So our $50 Space Marines now cost $80 or whatever, or $100 Primaris squad of 5. Then when Trump inevitably dies, because he will one day, if he gets booted out of office, don't know which one's going to come first. One or the other's going to come eventually. Don't know which one first. What if the next president just goes in 5, 2, 4, 6, 8 years, just goes, yo, how about we get rid of those tariffs? And now the company, Games Workshop, can either make $100 Primaris intercessors, or they can make them in the UK and ship them over for less. So if everyone is saying, oh, well, I'll just print my miniatures now. Well, you've got to get your resin from China. You've got to get your printer from China. So you're getting fucked by tariffs either way. So there you go. It's just, everyone's talking about video games because that's the big one. It's way more popular, but it's happening worldwide on every single thing you can think of if you are American. And the thing is with it is every other economy is failing as well, because especially like places like Japan, because what people do is they borrow loads of money in Japan, you know, and because it's got low interest rate, and then buy American bonds, American dollar bonds. And then because America's such in fluctuation, they've stopped doing that, which has had a knock-on effect to places like Japan. It's crazy. It's honestly crazy, dude. Jurassic, what are you saying? Who mentioned immigrants? Name one person who mentioned immigrants barring you. Barring you. Name one person. Kicking out illegal immigrants is racist now. No, treating illegal immigrants, in inverted commas, like lesser people is racist. And so are you. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Just saw stats that people are not buying US bonds but selling. They are selling right now, yeah. Because that's why, because people aren't borrowing the money to buy the US bonds and then reinvesting it and paying the money back to Japan. People have just gone, no, we're not going to do that because buying US bonds is crazy right now. So then everyone's like, yo. Yo, we're not going to do that. So all the economy is failing. Yeah. Getting Mandarin on Duolingo ASAP. I'm getting my red note back. I'm going to download red note, chat. Board game industry is getting hit hard by this nonsense. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. I've been talking about Helldivers 2 all day, right? I've been talking about Helldivers 2. Let's be honest, if you're American, a lot of the comments are about tariffs. You know, I was hyped a little bit, but uncertainty on tariffs make me wonder if the game will even be produced for the people who want some info on tariffs. The game will be produced despite of tariffs, but like Steamforge got a lot of stuff made in China, you know, because it's just cheaper. Let's have a look what they've actually said. But they don't know, because the tariffs are being used as a weapon right now by quite literally a dictator. They're just like, if you go against me, I'm upping your tariffs, you know? Does it say anything about tariffs here? See the bottom of this graphic. With a certain current uncertainty around US tariffs, there's no way to fully predict what the situation will be when the game ships in late 2026. Right now, we can't be certain of all US tariffs will be covered by our customs-free goal. However, we always try to do our best what's best for our backers. We've been covering all duties for the campaigns we're currently fulfilling, and we'll continue to assess projects on a case-by-case basis. So even there, like, Steamforge have got no idea, because if they go, well, it's coming from the UK, but you've actually imported it from China because it's only boxed in the UK, and they slap a big tariff on it, then companies will try and eat it, but they can't eat it forever. You know what I mean? Depending on how high it is. Let me catch up. I'm just trying to catch up with chat. Something consequences, something action. Yeah, literally. Yeah, literally. Sad times to the Antarctic penguins. Yeah, didn't he put a tariff on an island that had no people on it? Oh shit, let's start exporting champagne out of Northern Ireland. That's what's also funny. They've said that you should only drink American champagne. Let's start drinking. You can only drink American champagne. Champagne is only called champagne because it's from a place that where champagne was invented. If it's not from there, it can't be called champagne. Can't just eat 107% price increase. Yeah, yeah. Well, 107% cost increase. Because obviously, like, the price and the cost are different. But still. If something costs £10 and you sell it for 15 and it's got 100% tariff, it doesn't go to 30. The cost goes to 20. So then their costs go up. It goes to 25 or 28, for example. But still. Like, Cornish pasties aren't Cornish unless they're made in Cornwall. Yeah, it's just a pasty. The Larity of Northern Ireland, it's technically part of the EU market, but only has the UK tariff. So companies will set up shop in Northern Ireland, move EU goods out, and ship to the US, and there probably. The island, they do it all the time with Ireland, don't they? Because like Google has an office in Ireland to avoid taxes for treaty taxes and stuff like that. California produced great champagne. Different name, but tastes so close you won't be able to tell it if you're not an expert. Yeah, but it's not champagne, is it? That's the thing. Ireland has low corporation tax. Yeah, that'll also be why. So the stock market dumps, so the whole world dumps because like 5% of the world economy is in the big 7 US tech stocks. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. And the thing is with it is a lot of people are like, well, it's just the stock market that's dropping. Who cares? It's like the stock market's dropping, who cares? But the thing is with that is when the stock market drops, they will reflectively not make as much money. The shareholders won't be as happy, so cuts happen to make the... Because obviously when you have like a company that's on the public stock market, their whole job now is to pay out to shareholders. If the shareholders aren't getting enough, they'll call for a new CEO to make them more money if the stock market of a price of something has dropped. To then where you get... That's where you get cuts to budgets, to jobs, etc. So like, whilst you might not be directly affected from the 401k or whatever, or the UK equivalent, because you're like, well, I'm not a boomer, they're losing all their retirement funds, haha, get fucked. On the one hand, yeah, that is quite funny. On the other hand, the direct knock-on effect of that is that those companies make cuts and then people lose jobs, market caps get smaller, people's spending gets smaller, which then affects other companies. And it's a real big knock-on effect of what is quite literally like what feels like sometimes a made-up system, you know? So, whilst we can say, haha, stock go down, lol, funny, on the other, there's like lots of like knock-on effects which are like quite scary, just a normal human, you know, who isn't invested or whatever. Because it will affect us at the end of the day. So. Has any company in the hobby discussed price changes yet? Characters are printed in China, so are they going to cost Americans $120? The only one that's made a public statement is like Hero Forge. They made a statement coming out about it. There's been a few smaller companies come out as well. Games Workshop haven't specifically said anything yet, but it will affect them. You know, so whether Games Workshop say anything, whether they just go, yeah, we're upping the price and everything, but Games Workshop haven't specifically said anything just now. Books are exempt based on the tariff codes. Interesting. I didn't know that. New business plan: buy a load of Warhammer in the UK, fly over and sell it. Just don't tell anyone about it. Too late, done, man. You've already told me. The IRS is going to ship you off to a random country now. That in chains, probably. That's what will happen. They'll have to wait and see. This could end tomorrow, could carry on for weeks or get worse. That's the thing, right? It's because the tariffs are just so fluid. Because for reference, at the beginning of the year, chat, the US had a tariff on China at roughly 10%. And then they upped the tariff 25% to 35%. And then before Liberation Day, and then Liberation Day added an additional 20% tariff to China. So at the start of the year, it was at 10%. Then it was at 25 or 35, and now it's at 55%. And then they got angry, so they upped it since then to 100 and something. You know, because China was like, we're not going to back down. So then America upped it again. So they've upped the tariff to China specifically 3 times, 4 times, 3 times. Yeah, 4 times as of this morning. So it doesn't make sense for Games Workshop to say anything too quickly because they could change. No matter, like, any day they could change, you know. Now I think the UK only has a 10% tariff, but obviously there's other things that might affect it. I'm not an economist. I'm just trying to, this is me explaining it as from what I understand as a layman, you know, from what I get, and I think I'm pretty on the ball, you know. I think this is on the ball of, like, I think I'm pretty clued up on it, and if I am wrong, I'm happy to be corrected. But I'm not here to say what Games Workshop's going to do. I don't know. I'm just a chill dude, you know. Today, China upped it again on the US to 84%. This isn't stopping. And that's why they call it, you know, that's why they call it a trade war, you know? Because ultimately, we lose out. The people get to sit in their little towers and complain and send out their little soldiers of trade, and then we lose out, you know? But that's why it's called a trade. That's why the term is trade war, because they're battling each other until one of them backs down, which... to be honest, I don't think either of them will. Most important question though, will Henry Cavill play Trump in Liberation Day movie? Could be 0 if Trump wins his golf game. Could be 400% if he loses. Dude is nuts. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We just don't really... We don't know what could happen today. We don't know what happens tomorrow, you know? But it's a scary time. It's a scary time. And I think the problem is, with anything like this, is the desperation to be on a winning side, you know, from a lot of people. That's the other problem. It's the desperation to be on the winning team no matter what. And it's just kind of showing people like me, other people, feel like they're in like a bit of a cult. Because before it was, they're going to bring the egg prices down. I saw a video yesterday that 24 eggs was like $30 or something. And that was the original goal. Trump was going to bring the groceries down. If you vote for Kamala Harris, there's going to be a stock crash. Now it's he's building for America and making it all cool. You know, there's gonna be pains because he's making America great again. He's rebuilding America, and it's just like, you've changed your tune from literally 4 months ago. You've changed your tune from just 4 months ago. People would say UK eggs to Americans on eBay. I'm not surprised. Have you seen the Daily Show clips of the same groceries? I haven't. If you've seen any funny shit that's happened, make sure you share it in Share with Mikey on Discord. But yeah, like, it's just like a really, really, really crazy time to be anybody, like not just like a Warhammer player, to do anything. And yeah, I think the default response from certain type of people is just building America, but they just don't. They aren't being explained. They just want to be on the winning side, and they aren't realizing the knock-on effect of that. You know? Small tariff gang 2025. Yeah. If you wear some metal models, that's 25% normal tariff rates plus the 10%. Really? More DAKKA hit by the tariffs, definitely. Anyway, in other government news, Elon Musk has been trying to stream Path of Exile 2 to prove he's a gamer. And the comments are hilarious. Wasn't America becoming isolationist in the Fallout universe before the fall? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I was watching a podcast I really enjoy, and I was listening to that, and there's quite an interesting thing. It was kind of like, in recent years, in the past 80 years or so, America has made themselves the designers of the world, if that makes sense. The seven biggest the 7 biggest companies are all tech companies: Apple, Google, Microsoft, etc. And America's kind of made itself the designers of the world, and they essentially get everything made in places like China because it's cheap, right? So China became the builders of the world, and America is the designers of the world. Let's just, to make it very simple. Very, very simple. Now, by becoming very isolationist and trying to go, there's tariffs and everything, so everything's very expensive, let's make American, but buy American, if things go the way that they say they want them to go, America's going to have to devolve quite quickly and make very basic things, rather than saying, you know, we're going to design the latest iPhone. We need to really put production into like making basic things like toasters and kettles, you know. And it's kind of like a backwards thing. But then also, on the flip side, is America is probably quite worried about being the designer of the world when China are out-designing them at the minute, you know. They're building, but they're also out-designing when you look at things like electric cars. So it's definitely a weird one. And the reasoning for all the tariffs and the reactions to it and stuff like that, no one really knows. So yeah, it's a scary time, chap. It's a scary time. And I'm sure a lot of people are worried about things. I'm sorry I can't fill you with hope and tell you it's all going to be all right, because I don't really know. But what I can tell you that Elon Musk is a dickhead. You ruined the country just like you ruined your marriage, as he says, whilst he's trying to live stream from his private jet playing Path of Exile 2.
Anyone spamming the chat?
Elon, how's it possible to look this dumb and ugly, and why is your Tesla company falling apart? Elon, it's me, Ashley St. Clair. I have no other means of contacting you. Please pay for your child support. Thank you, Elon. I suppose that this is another woman that he's had a kid with, allegedly. You have no real friends and will die alone. From Elon is a pedo. On the one hand, this is well brutal. On the other hand, this guy did a Nazi salute and didn't apologize. You know? This guy is a fucking idiot. Bro. Tears it feels bad world starts playing.
Connection lost.
So he boosted his own account. People called him out for it, and now he's streaming and people just fucking donging on him. Elon Musk rage quits his favourite game after repeatedly dying amid ruthless cyberbullying in his chat. Let's have a look what the article says. Elon rage quit live streaming the video game Path of Exile 2 on Saturday night after repeatedly dying while also being ruthlessly cyberbullied in the chat. Path of Exile 2 is one of Musk's favourite games, so much so he once claimed to be one of the world's top players in an attempt to boost his gamer cred before later backtracking and admitting they'd been secretly paying people to level up his account, making him appear more talented than he actually is. Nevertheless, while attempting to show off Starlink's in-flight Wi-Fi capabilities while on board his private jet over the weekend, Musk streamed himself playing Path of Exile 2 on the hardest difficulty, which was broadcast live on X. The Doe's cheap, predictably terrible at the game. That was the least of his problems. Less than 5 minutes into the stream, a player logged on and asked Musk if he could please jerk off Mr. Trump so he died about. For the next hour and a half, Musk cited stony face sounds and blasted techno music while dozens of users with names such as, you can read chat, repeatedly spammed the chat to tell you have no friends and will die alone and you'll always feel insecure and you'll never go away. Elon is me, Ashley St. Clem. No, that means continue, so I bought too early access. Please pay your child support. Well, another said his estranged daughter Vivian was right about him being terrible at video games. I mean, she's not wrong. So she's dead to help us out by trying to show him how to mute from chat function, while others encourage people to buy Tesla and thanked him for his work with Starlink and Doge, but they were drowned out by a cavalcade of abuse from gamers relished the opportunity to give the billionaire a piece of their mind. Okay. There's a lot of R words in chat, said Elon Musk, using the R words while using the name HC John Wick repeatedly spanned. Elon, how is it possible to look this dumb and ugly while Sean Tesla company falling apart? Ah, ha, ha. What happened, buddy? What happened, buddy? That's so savage. That's so funny, but also savage as fuck. What happened, buddy? But Simon muted a couple of loudest trolls after almost an hour of sustained abuse. Must do little to stop the army of trolls from relentlessly mocking him. Eventually, he vanished when his Wi-Fi connection abruptly cut out and ended the stream, which he later deleted from X, but was swiftly re-uploaded onto YouTube. Ah, savage. Absolutely savage. And he fucking deserves it. He's a fucking cunt, mate. I don't like him. I don't like him. Remember when he used to fucking fawn over him? Said he was in Iron Man, the Iron Man 2 movie because he was real life Tony Stark. Now look at him. He's just so divorced. Yeah. Yeah. That's just what it is, you know. He died in the tutorial. Yeah, I saw that. He's just like, you don't need to just like boost your gamer credit when you are literally a billionaire. One of the richest people, the richest person on the planet. You just don't need to do this. You're just embarrassing yourself. It's just, honestly, just so embarrassing. Getting name dropped in Star Trek, so fucking cringe. People used to fawn over him, bro. People used to fawn over him. But not now. Not now. Showed his true colours. Well, showed his true colours to work out to make more money. You know? Hey, have you heard that Gdo is going after Janovich and other Warhammer animators again? No. I have not heard. The world's most divorced man. Yeah. Yeah, 100%. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Have you seen he's trying to like backtrack and go away from Trump now with the tariffs as well? Which is really funny.
The human brain. It's a 3-pound mass of tissue that can comprehend the vastness of our universe.
I'll admit, I used to think he was great. Mars, solar panel roof, early Tesla just goes to show what 4 hours sleep and a poor work-life balance does to you. Well, I used to think he was good as well. I think everybody kind of did. It was a bit cringe, but everyone thought he was really amazing. But then we realised he just had loads of money. He just had loads of money and bought loads of companies. That was it. GDU went after a small animated channel posting Janovich video. Post it and share with Mikey in Discord.
Naked lady song. Chicken to China, the Chinese chicken. I don't even like that song. F you, brain. And no brain holds within it more mysteries than that of American president and ketchup-fueled sex machine, Donald Trump. As fate would have it, the thoughts that dwell inside that brain now affect everyone on Earth. So why not try to understand how it works? Come with me on a magical, scientific voyage in our new segment.
Donald Trump's very, very large brain.
A lot of thoughts have been
Did
occupying.
you hear he said, rather than saying criminals, he said people of crime the other day or the other week or whatever?
Excellent. A lot of thoughts have been occupying Trump's mind lately. Invading Greenland, boobs. Taking over the Panama Canal, boobs. Selling Teslas, and of course, putting tariffs on boobs. It's a beautiful, horny mental tapestry. But recently, one mysterious word
Great band
has been
name,
stuck
yeah.
in Trump's brain.
I went on the border and I went on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, you know, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries.
Yeah.
That's like me when I'm like either overtired or I had one too many beers or whatever. And I'm just saying a word like bowl over and over again, and I'm starting to wonder if it's actually a real word, you know? Bowl. 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 Like, why does it sound so funny? Is it a real word? Especially where I'm from, because everyone adds an extra syllable. In Rotherham, everyone says bowl. It's not a bowl, it's a bowl. Grocery is such a beautiful word. So yeah, I'll be like sleepy, I'll be tired, or I'll be like drunk or whatever, and you just think of a word like bowl. Bowl. Is it real? I don't know.
Yeah, groceries. I mean, who uses that word except everybody all the time? Donald Trump found the word fascinating. And this was not just a fleeting thought. His brain has been contemplating the word groceries for a while now.
You know, more people tell me about groceries. The word grocery, I've heard it more in the last year than any other word, I think. Everyone tells me about the word groceries. You know, you hear the word groceries, you say,
Your entire campaign was about reducing the price of them. That's why, bro.
really? But I get more complaints about groceries. Beautiful but simple word, groceries. Sir, my groceries.
Please, sir, my groceries. What? Now, based on that, you might think that Trump has never heard the word groceries until the 2024 campaign and just thought this must be a new slang word, you know? He was probably like, Barron, what's groceries? Is that like Riz? But if you tunnel deeper into Trump's brain, you find out that he's heard the word before, just not in a long time.
The cost of groceries, a word that I used a lot on the campaign. It's like an old-fashioned word, but it's a beautiful word, very descriptive word. They say my groceries are so much more. I have it, you know, the term is just like an old term, and it's a beautiful groceries.
What does he mean, bro? Does he know what a grocery means? I don't think he does.
A term I used to use. It's sort of an old-fashioned term, but I used to use it.
Oh, I can't watch this, chat. I'm getting copyright claimed. I can't watch the rest of this. You should watch it. It looks funny. I'm getting copyright claimed. I'm getting silenced by the right-wing media. I'm getting copyright claimed. He says, you are streaming someone else's. You are being warned. If you continue watching, your stream may be deleted or you'll get a strike. How would I say mythomroid? I don't even know what that is. What's mythomroid? Guy's never bought groceries in his life. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this isn't stream clips. I said post it in open on stream. I'll have a look, but I'm going to delete it.
Hello there viewers, once again another video to inform people about even more damage that games will...
Who is this? Is this some rage bait guy or what? Okay, not rage bait. The last 3 videos a little bit. Don't know who this is, chat. I've never heard of them. Not to be like who megalol, but
Workshop is currently doing to its own fan base, and this time it's just straight up illegal. Trust me, it gets really bad. On April 5th, I found out that Games Workshop had issued a copyright strike against several of my 3D assets that are freely available to anyone on Sketchfab. So now, not only are my animations at risk of being copyright striked at any moment, my public 3D assets are as well.
I mean, are you surprised?
Shop had issued a
Sorry? Are you surprised they deleted your 3D model that's downloadable? That you are advertising payments for? Free model to download? Come in, Ian.
3D assets are as well. There's loads of assets removed from other creators as well.
Idiotic Synergy, is this a meme? Are you like pulling my leg or something? There's a different, this is the video you've sent me. All of this is stolen. All of this is stolen. Why are you actually surprised? Because it's unmonetized, doesn't matter.
I will cover in this video. Just to be clear about this, the 3D models that were taken down were not in any way suitable for 3D printing, so do not compete with Games Workshop miniature business in any way. It would be quite difficult and frankly pointless to try and convert these to 3D printable STLs, when there are much better files for that purpose out there already on different websites like Cult 3D. Before we get into the legal stuff, I will first illustrate why striking down these kinds of 3D models is so extremely damaging to the community. When I finish a fan project, I share many of my 3D models on Sketchfab for free. These often have thousands of downloads, and it's been super cool to see other people use these in their own projects too. I've mostly seen them used for Warhammer game mods, but also in animations and other fan works as well. I've always thought this was super cool and a nice way for me to give something back to the community. So now let me explain why you should care. We all know Luton09. He's by far the most popular Warhammer lore channel on YouTube. When he makes a new video, he looks around the internet for nice artwork. For his latest Siege of Frags Part 2 episode, he used this great looking artwork in his thumbnail that was made by Mark Therese, who shared it publicly on his ArtStation account. But hey, would you look at that? I immediately recognize a lot of details that make me absolutely certain that he used my Dev Corps of Greek model that is available on Sketchfab as a direct reference. The specific proportions of the helmet, the shovel holster, the backpack and the last
This might be based on this, but what's this based on, bro? What's this based on, bro? Mikey the Reincarnation of Sheriff of Nottingham protecting the rich. I'm not protecting the rich. But also, I think you're being a bit ridiculous. Is he claiming to own Krieg? By the sounds of it, yeah.
Hello dear viewers, thanks for tuning in. If you're hearing baby sounds in the background, that's because I literally have her in my chest carrier right now while recording. I really hoped I would never have to make this type of videos again, but here we are. Because Games Workshop is attacking fan animations again by striking them with copyright takedowns, and frankly this makes me really sad that they're still going legally after fan creators. And I think it's necessary to talk about it so the community knows what's going on. On March 19, this creator called Wolfen received a takedown request notification for 2 of his videos on YouTube. He's a channel currently with 810 subscribers, and I randomly stumbled upon it when he posted it in a Discord server, and I decided to...
Yo, I think this is crazy animations that are over a year old just got taken down requests from GW. These copyright remove requests that received on your video taken down from YouTube in 7 days. A stand trailer 140k fan animation. Content used spacemarine copyright. Content found in video. Infringements at gwplc.com. Oh, it does look legit, to be fair. Man, fuck GW. Gotta get that bad boy in.
To reach out to get all the information. Due to a copyright removal request that we received, your video will be taken down from YouTube in 7 days. Then it lists the title, video URL.
I love that bro just re-uploaded it. I love that bro just re-uploaded it anyway.
Takedown request, they have two options. The first is to do an immediate takedown, and then the channel gets an official copyright strike. Alternatively, the channel can be given 7 days to comply, and if they don't remove the content themselves within 7 days, they also get a copyright strike. For those who don't know, if your channel gets 3 strikes, you will be permanently banned, so it's quite bad. In this case, the creator was given 7 days to comply. Although YouTube's system immediately agreed upon this takedown request, unfortunately for Games Workshop, apparently they didn't do their homework, and someone at YouTube manually stepped in to inform them that the request was invalid. The creator was also sent the full transcript and...
Hi, Julia. Thank you for your removal request. Reviewed it and provided updates below. We've reviewed your delayed copyright removal request and let the uploader know that they have 7 days to take action. During that time, the uploader may choose to do one of the following. What is...
type of work, the author's name, the date of the work was created, the copyright registration number, and the
So they counterclaimed, is that what we're saying?
specific timestamps at which your work appears in the video in question will greatly assist us in processing your request. So yeah, apparently Games Workshop legal department was too lazy to properly fill out all the information and just assumed it would be taken down without further inquiry. They were wrong, and the creator was officially informed by YouTube that the videos had been reinstated. Unfortunately for him, that's not where this ends, because yeah, of course Games Workshop weren't going to let that happen, and the next day this creator got another takedown request from YouTube for the same videos. So yeah, just this
So rather than just going for one, they went for 2 this time.
really proves that it was not an automatic bot striking random videos, but definitely...
And they've just striked it down as well, rather than giving 7 days. So they went back hard.
Definitely some legal employee at the Games Workshop manually attempting to target these specific videos. This all looks very legit. It's not some copyright troll, this is Games Workshop. Since he had 7 days to respond, I advised him to immediately reach out to Games Workshop legal team using that email to ask for clarification and find out what exactly are the reasons his video were taken down, and if there is perhaps a way to resolve the issue. So on March 22, which is 3 days after the first failed copyright takedown notice, he wrote a very eloquent email that is kinda long, so I won't share it here, but the TLDR is that he explains he's been a very big Warhammer fan all his life. His channel is entirely unmonetized and only a passion project. He understands.
It says, "How you business? I'll be brief. Because in terms of issued copyright takedown notice against my 2 most recent videos, The Stand and The Ghost. Most importantly, I would like to state my respect and admiration for the Warhammer 40k franchise. It's been a hobby of mine since I was 6 years old. And I truly want to thank you for creating an immersive world to explore. Over the many years I've spent enjoying the world of 40k, I've spent many thousands of euros on miniatures, books, and other Warhammer-related products, and my fan animations have no intent to infringe upon Games Workshop's intellectual property. I have not made any financial profit from said animations, nor have I tried to use them as a basis for selling other products. My YouTube channel is entirely non-profit and says it's a passion product for the world that I've come to love, amounting to what is essentially free marketing for the Warhammer brand. That being said, I fully understand the right Games Workshop its content and will be eager to find a compromise or work as a resolution in order to be able to retain my animations on YouTube in a way that aligns with both copyright policies as well as the interest of the Warhammer community, as many viewers of my videos have expressed that they were introduced to Warhammer through my animations and feel that animation as a whole are an excellent way of spreading the reach of Games Workshop and its brands through popular social media platforms. Given the goodwill Games Workshop has shown towards fan content in the past, I would like to inquire whether there are many modifications or permissions that could be granted to allow my videos to remain online, perhaps with proper disclaimers or under certain conditions you deem appropriate, and open to any possibility. Okay, it's a nice email. It's a nice email.
Stands that Games Workshop needs to protect their IP, but ask if there is a potential compromise for sharing this animation on YouTube in a way that aligns with their copyright policies. And if there are any modifications he needs to make, like specific disclaimers or under certain conditions, he'd be more than willing to do so, and he's happy to hear from them. And I know he's telling the truth, that he's not making money because the channel is too small to meet the criteria for monetization on YouTube. And he doesn't have any links to a Patreon or a crowdfund or whatever to donate. So he just made it because he really likes Warhammer. So after waiting for several days, there has been no response from Games Workshop, and the videos are now officially taken down by YouTube. When you go to the links, it says the videos no longer exist and actually says the video has been taken down by a copyright claim from Games Workshop. Of course, big companies are really...
Okay, that is a bit cringe. That is a little cringe.
Slow, and so we've been patiently waiting in hope they would respond. Funnily enough, they were fast enough to respond to YouTube's objection by dropping another takedown request literally the next day. But after almost 2 weeks, they still haven't responded to this creator's email. So big common L for Games
Vibe.
Workshop. Now, in the meantime, I've been going over the
I know that feeling.
removed videos to see if there was anything that would have warranted the copyright takedown request. There's still a lot of fan animations out there publicly that haven't been removed, so I thought perhaps in this case there was maybe something very specific or special that triggered Games Workshop into taking these videos down. So I asked—
That's the thing, there's lots of fan animations and they haven't really touched. They touched a few many moons ago. It makes you wonder why they attacked this one in particular.
Creators to send me the videos. I will watch over them again, and I've also asked him if perhaps he has been using official Games Workshop models, music or anything else for his animations, to which he responded that the answer is most likely no, and that almost everything in his most recent animation was modeled completely from scratch by himself. He did use some models he downloaded from Sketchfab, but absolutely nothing that is directly owned by Games Workshop themselves. His older video that was removed used a bit more publicly available models from Sketchfab, since he was still a beginner then, but again, no assets directly owned by Games Workshop themselves, so no models or textures ripped from a Warhammer game. All music was royalty free. He said he did use one bolter sound from a Warhammer game, but he mixed this together with 5 or 6 other sound effects so that it would literally be impossible to tell that it was. He also sent me the full video descriptions, which include the disclaimer.
It's just a weird one, right? Because it's like not directly, but maybe assets someone else has ripped off. That's the thing. It's like he didn't steal them, use them, but maybe one he is using that was on Sketchfab or whatever website it's talking about was taken from GW, you know? But yeah, like
5 or 6
even when
other
you've
sound
like
effects so
redone
that
it, like that is like a copyrightable logo. That is a copyrightable logo. Man in Armour, harder to do, but that's a copyrighted logo. I worked with a company for 3D printing for a travel case thing for like bits of like gaming aids and stuff, and it had the Imperial Eagle on the front, but the heads of the eagle had been replaced. That got taken down for copyright. They had to update it. They had to change it, you know, because it was too close to the copyrighted logo. You can't say, if that's the case, I'd get it. If it was like, yeah, the logos, then I'd understand. Because everything else is fan art, but like because you're using like official logos, they're the trademarks that Games Workshop will be wanting to protect. Yeah. Maybe that's the issue. The problem is you don't have any, there's no back and forth with this sort of thing. That's the issue.
Literally be impossible to tell that it was. He also sent me the full video descriptions.
Like a guy in armor, you can't really copyright, but the logos you can.
100% unofficial. It also states that he is in no way profiting financially from this in any way, which once again I know is true because it would be impossible since his channel does not meet the requirements for monetization yet. As you may have been able to see for yourself in this video, although his animation was definitely inspired by Astartes, I mean, who wouldn't? In many ways, it is just 100% his own work with his own 3D models and animations. So yeah, this kind of leaves us with a lot of questions on why Games Workshop was so hellbent on taking down this specific channel's work, while there are so many other bigger creators who still have their fan animations out there. I've really thought about it and discussed with other creators on this topic, but there seems to be no pattern to who or why they will target. It's not about copyright.
Because like the thing is with like Astartes, if you think back to that one, before Games Workshop bought it, it had its own logos, you know? It had all its own logos and stuff. They had its own chapter, which this has got an Inquisitor logo. Does the creator have a Patreon? No, I don't think they do. I think that was the point. 100% its own animation whilst downloading stuff from third parties. Yeah, it's a bit being a bit. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word that I'm trying to say. They're kind of like glossing over the important facts, and if you're listening, he's being honest with it, but like glossing over it. But yeah, they had kiwi heads on it. That was the problem. So they replaced it with kiwi heads, and then that was a problem, so they changed it again.
Models or music. It's not about ripped game assets or sound effects. It's not about lack of disclaimers, and it's not about monetization. So as long as Games Workshop's legal team does not respond with clarification, this is all going to be speculation, but honestly, I'm fucking done with these idiots. And since they insist on treating us fan creators like criminals, I'm just gonna say what I think is actually happening here. So what I think is that Games Workshop legal team actually has learned from the backlash that happened when they banned fan animation several years ago and decided to let us be for a while to let things cool down. Because if they strike at any big channel, there's bound to be more outcry from the fans and boycotting of Warhammer.
Got the baby crying in the background to mock it, but yeah. Especially when it comes to like logos, you know? Especially when it comes to logos, because they're official trademarks that they can really claim on, you know? Because then if not, you go, well, they were using it in this that was fine. So someone selling shoulder pads with the logo on, you know, a company, Cromlech or whatever, selling it with the Inquisition logo. Well, you didn't protect it here. Why do you need to protect it there? GW rage bait for rage bait's sake. The commentators say, I'm done 100% with GW, fuck them, then proceeds to make videos about them which are monetized. Yeah, it's very much... I'm going to continue the rest of this video just so I get the full point. But it's very rage bait. It's very, very rage bait, you know what I mean?
Obviously, I can't see any reason for why they specifically targeted this creator, other than just to build a trail of legal paperwork so that they can claim they've been taken.
You see all these things, chat? Banhammer Plus, Lawhammer Plus, all the zings he's getting in because he's rage baiting.
Legal actions to protect their IP. So now that they think everybody has kind of forgotten about what happened during Warhammer Plus a few years ago, they are trying again. But this time, trying to be smart about it, so instead of going after big channels, they're targeting the small channels, hoping that they won't be causing a big outrage like last time. Because they think if nobody knows the channel, if
you see?
Hoping that they won't.
Same place, no logos though.
Be causing a big outrage like last time, because they think if nobody knows the channel, if they have relatively few subscribers, then there won't be an outcry by fans. And that is why I made this video, because I think Games Workshop should just leave us fan animators the fuck alone, no matter how many subscribers you have.
Never mind. I'm not listening to someone who's trying to make a dog shit rage bait point with Crybaby in the background. Nah, I'm right. I'm trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm all good. I'm all good. That was shit. Anyway, chat. That's about it from me today, I think. Was it actually a big outrage last time? Do you even care at the outrage? I think the big outrage was if the Emperor had a text-to-speech device, nuking themselves. That was the outrage. You know? That was the problem with the fan animation drama last time. Was if the Emperor had a text-to-speech, cancelling themselves. That's what people are upset about. I love that everything is sunny, Charlie conspiracy meme energy. Yeah, because like that's why I haven't made many like quite drama videos recently, because there's not been that much. There hasn't been that much at all, because well, it just hasn't. With there's been no evidence. It's just all this like little bits of drama that people are trying to turn into big pieces of drama. Would be funny if those baby cries were added in post. They were added in post. That's why I turn it off. I mean, I love fan animations, but if you include copyrightable material, you're going to get hit if you aren't careful. Yeah. Every other fan animation doesn't really do it, you know? Or it's the very generic ones. Like an eagle, like a raptor is an eagle head, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So... Honestly, there needs to be more people calling out rage baiting in the hobby. There's a certain channel that has scandal or worse in every video. Yeah. They took my title and ran with it, really, didn't they? No way, that sounded like he was talking with his kid. I think that was a joke. I think that was a joke, chat. Are you kidding? That sounds like generic baby cry.
His older video that was removed used a bit more publicly available models from Sketchfab since he was still a beginner then. But again, no assets directly owned by Games Workshop and animators the fuck alone, no matter how many subscribers he would have. By fans. And that is why I made this video, because I think Games Workshop should just leave us fan animators the fuck alone, no matter how many subscribers he would have. And I think it's a very scummy tactic to be so...
I don't think that's a real baby. I don't think that's real. Chat seems to think it is. I thought it was just a meme he was saying at the beginning, so he could add baby noises. Why not cut it out? Because he's talking about Games Workshop spitting the dummy out.
Sneaky about attacking a smaller creator. Just as sneaky as when they quietly updated their legal policies on their website to include fan anime.
It seemed too perfectly timed. And he's not got the... I suppose if we got the mic here. Seems to advance a meme for rage bait. No, rage bait is... They normally put crying baby sounds in it. That's why I turned it off.
In the zero tolerance list alongside piracy and counterfeiting, which is just insane to me, without communicating anything about this with the fans. And they just hoped we would not notice. If they really wanted us to stop making fan animations, just let us know through a public community post or something and stand for your decision. But don't be fucking sneaky in the hope that nobody will notice and then behind everybody's back try to take us down one by one. I mean, come on, think about it. Someone at Games Workshop must have really gone out of their way to completely overlook all the other well-known fan animations that are out there to find a really small channel and be like, yeah, I'm...
Warhammer commentator silences child on live recording, parenting scandal. I would anyway.
I'm gonna strike this guy in particular. Seriously, how fucking petty is that from a multi-million-dollar company? So yeah, this is my speculation. They targeted this guy because he doesn't have a big audience, so they can prove they've taken legal actions, but also they're trying to prevent causing another outrage within the large community because they know that will hurt their profits. Frankly, whatever they do, I'm sure it won't hurt their reputation because it can't get any lower than it currently is.
Oh well. Still, I'm not bothered. Big cringe, don't use Legos. He'll come after you next, Mikey. Arshiri gets his cats involved, not silences them. Yeah, but you can see the cat. Hello. It's a bit shit, but again, like, if you're going to use the logos, that's why you got to be careful, you know? Because then you're using their extremely copyrighted products, you know? What can I say? It's just a lot of rage bait for what's something that seems pretty obvious, you know? Anyway, shit that you got copyright claimed. It's shit that they didn't reply, but it's a big company and one guy, you know? They're not going to talk to you on equal footing. They're just going to send you legal shit. That's just kind of how these things work, sadly. It's cringe, I know, but yeah, that how it is. So, anyway, chat, it's lunchtime for me, so I'm going to go grab some lunch. So I'm going to call it a day there. Thanks so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you. Thanks to everyone who became a member or gifted a Prime and stuff like that. Thanks to the resubs, really appreciate you all. I won't be streaming this Friday, so I might stream tomorrow night. We might play some games and stuff like that because I'm away Friday. The studio's in tatters because of the refurb, and I'm at Salute this weekend. No daily game theory ever ran. I'm at Salute this weekend, So if you are at Salute this Saturday, make sure you come down and say hello and let me know. I'll be hanging out with Warmag a lot. And the Colour Forge, if you go see the Colour Forge, not only will they have my spray paint, Red best spray paint in the world, !Colour Forge in chat, they will be giving away signed cards as well. I've signed a bunch of cards, and there's lots of different messages on, so let us know which ones you get. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll catch you tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, gamers. See you later. Love you, bye. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Bye. Bye-bye now. Thanks again. Bye.